for a minute or two. So I'm like, yeah, give me my coffee.
Oh, we're live already. I'm
Yeah,
jumping off, guys. I gotta get ready for work. I might jump back on from the shop. Tara, it was nice talking to you. We'll see you guys soon.
40. Thanks.
Later, guys. Love y'all.
Have a good day.
All right, Prophet, I'm going to give you the controls, and then I'm going to try and figure out what's going on with my computer, and I'll jump on back on with you guys as soon as I can. Tara, sorry about whatever the hell is going on your day with the show. But thank you so much for joining us. I'll be back as soon as I get the computer problems figured out.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Blame
Canada.
Yeah. Now I just got to figure out how to work the fucking phone on her because I'm used to doing the. There we go. And the controls to Mr. Prophet.
Whoa, we got bees on.
I got the power. Too. Yeah, he's got his little porno stash. I didn't want to say nothing until Caribou was done, but yeah, look at you with your little porno stash.
I gotta take my phone.
All right, John Holmes, relax.
Tara, guess what? I'm
what?
so glad I sent you that link last night because I literally woke up like 2 seconds ago.
Oh. You look like it.
Yes, that would have been awesome.
So I'm gonna do my best here. We have Tara Wilson on with us today. Jesus Christ, today, and we're very happy to have her on. She's from the Michigan Brothers Grow Show. Most of you that follow us probably know who she is, and we're just gonna bombard her with questions and see how much we can dig up out of her.
Okay.
Welcome, Tara.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate it. You guys have been trying for a while to get me on here, and I've been a bit nervous to venture outside my little niche that I have made with my group and where I'm comfortable, but I honestly never planned on doing things like this. So I'm definitely reaching outside of my comfort level, and it's well worth it because I'm having a great morning with you guys, waking and baking. Thank you.
I am persistent.
You are persistent, and it paid off. Here we are.
Oh, it's good. It's good to have you here too, man. Ever since you kind of have joined the Michigan show, since you've been on there, kind of just like I said the same thing about Baked is you guys are like a breath of fresh air on that show. It's just a little bit more. You bring a little happiness and joy to that show sometimes. So I'm glad you're there. It's you make me smile a lot. So
thank you. I appreciate that.
You do have a positive energy. I mean, I think the whole group does.
I want to make people smile. It's important to me. There's too much sadness in the world, and if I can, lift you for a little bit, and while I'm around you, then I've succeeded in my days complete.
Yeah. And that Boomer Baked, he's great, man.
I love him. He is such a great guy. I can't say enough about all of my guys. But
that's true.
But I do certainly have a great connection with Baked, and really enjoy spending time with him. He's really turned out to be a great guy that I really, really super like. He's really super smart too.
I like busting his chops.
Yeah, but he likes busting everybody else.
Yeah. Oh, he came at me first, so it's open season after that.
Yeah, it certainly is.
It's Boomer season.
He likes the Boomers.
Yeah.
But he's not leaving our side, so he must like us.
Here, we'll do a quick one first. Sunday usually people show up pretty early, and I like to do my red impressions. So, all right, everybody, Top Chat, Laugh Chat, let's do this thing, right? So you got that little bar up there, right? All right, I know y'all are in Top Chat. Y'all are bad at this game. You're terrible at it. Every time you log on, you end up in Top Chat. So go up there, click a little thing, go down, hit the live chat, get your best chatting experience with us. Join Tara. She's having a great time with us.
I don't like the fact that you knew I was in Top Chat.
Debatable.
Prophet, I know you're always in Top Chat. I'm sure DP's probably in Top Chat too. He just now looked. He's trying to act like he's not, but he is. He'll switch it later on the slide.
I haven't even gone to try to switch it yet. Still riding up the top. I gotta get this coffee in me first. Get a dab, and I'll be all right. I'll get up in Top or live chat. Just hanging down in Top Chat, being bored right now.
If you boost that coffee, it'll kick in 3 times faster.
Cool it off first.
I've heard.
What you smoking on this morning, Tara?
I was just smoking on some GMO a little bit ago and some OKC orange cake. What orange push cake? Sorry. So I'm kind of all over the place with what I smoke, and I did some dabs. I've already done some dabs, some Yeti Stash dabs, and some Droz Grows dabs, some Mac One. Oh my gosh, this stuff is just phenomenal. I mean, 11% terps on this is just fire.
I got some GMO right here, Tara.
Oh, yes, I do too.
That's what I'm smoking on. And I'm smoking some Lamb's Breath crossed with acid.
Oh wow. So I had a Lamb's Breath from Silver Squirrel Farms, and I lost my whole grow to PM, and the Lamb's Breath was a part of that. So wow, I hope that is super good for you.
If I come across seeds, I'll keep you in mind.
I still have them, thankfully.
Okay.
I do still have them. I'm one of those ones that don't pop the whole kit and caboodle. I always just do one or two. So you never know. So yeah. I do have them.
That's cool. I recently lost my coffee plant, which I'm heartbroken, but I'm trying to save by re-vegging at week 4 to get the thing to turn back, you know, just so I can keep it. I've had it for so long. What was it?
One of those ones that smell like coffee. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it's a coffee F2. And
wow.
The closest thing they have available now, because they don't make it anymore, is coffee cake. Now the coffee was crossed with a coffee and an alien kush. The coffee cake is coffee crossed with alien OG, which doesn't seem like it would change a lot, but we all know it could change a lot, you know. So it's just I will save this plant. Like, I'll get it back, because I took it while it's in flower or whatever, but I took one that just had one bud on it, threw a bunch of my cloner, and I'm just praying they're gonna fucking re-veg. I just need one.
Yeah, it might take a while, but you'll get a
I don't care.
out of that without a problem. Actually, I've not had any problems yet with cloning out a flower like that yet. You know, I mean, I've gone all the way up to the chop day, and took a clone at the day I chopped, and I have successful clones. So
no, you weren't taking tops and cloning them, right? You were going for the lower ones that fucking only had a bud on it and shit, right? Because I was like, look at it, and I'm like, because I usually clone from the top, and I'm like, fuck, if I cut that, that's a bud this fucking big. I'll be waiting fucking years. So I went inside the plant and went after just a single top bud ones.
I usually take one out of a lower middle,
okay.
When I do like a late flower clone. But yeah, it's no big deal, man. You'll get it. Right. It'll root. You'll be fine.
Okay. As long as you said it, I feel better. Jeez. You know, I had such a hard time sleeping last night over this shit.
Oh, I find that so hard to believe. So Tara, what brought you to Michigan? Like, let's get through all the stories and all the stuff I asked you before. Let's do it again.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't mind sharing this story. It's a good one. So it goes back a little bit. So I've been a vegetable grower for a very long time. Lived in Ohio all my life, and some in Kentucky. Grew up in Kentucky. Parents divorced. Went to Ohio. I ended up with my ex-husband. We had been avid cannabis users since teenagers. Got to a point where I was kind of sick of getting rationed and getting what was given to me, and was worrying about him giving it to me, getting it from my son and getting it from other people. And about, I think it's almost 3 years now, it's been medical almost in Ohio. As soon as that happened, my son kept pushing me to go get my card, because he was sick and tired of dealing with me too. I mean, because I was coming to him every week, and he's like, this is ridiculous, Ma. So he's like, you need to get your card. And as soon as I got my card, that empowered me so much to just feel like I could go do what I needed to do. And I went to one dispo in Ohio and was like, this is fucking retarded. I was like, I cannot pay this kind of money for this crap. And that's what it was crap. As soon as I opened the jar, just the bud, just nothing, no smell, no taste, just dust. So I started talking to one of the people where I'd gotten my med card from, and he's like, I'm going to Michigan. He's like, you want to catch a ride with me? Well, I wasn't too sure about catching a ride with him. So I was like, I'll get my own way to Michigan. and I have never stopped going to Michigan ever since. That very first time hooked me enough, and I only went to a dispo, but the quality, the taste, the kindness that I got from these people was overwhelming to me.
Pun intended.
Yeah, it was very, that's one thing I have to say, there's bad people all over the world, but I've had nothing but goodness come from everyone in Michigan. I've had a few stinkers here and there, but that's life. But the overall greatness that I've had come from people here in Michigan with me is very rewarding and overwhelming and good. And I love to give back too. So I hope everybody feels my love right back. So I also started getting to the point where I wasn't like, I was getting what I needed, but not really. So I knew what strains I was starting to really, really like. And I was like knowing that I needed to try to figure out how I could get, more of it. So one night I was heading home from work late, and I've always worked in the medical field too. So I've always been in the ER or critical care or something like that throughout my life. Coming home late from work, and I found the Michigan Bros podcast. That was before they were doing, video lives and that. So I don't know what it was. It was probably Skilbo's voice, honestly, hooked me. He has got that radio voice that is just
got me
presence. He's got a presence about him. And those two, him and Sequence, I don't know, those two hooked me. And I've been an avid, loyal follower ever since then. And I owe so much to those guys in that community. So much. Because I never ever planned on being on YouTube or Instagram or anything like that. I mean, I was just a simple old mom that just wanted to find her weed and go about her day. And I started networking. I made a few friends. Elevated Space, love you, girl. The Frankenstein Mine. Those two people right there were pivotal in me getting started and finding the right things that I needed besides the Michigan Bros Grow Show. So I started listening to them and stalking them hard, just stalking them. I was like hooked. I wanted so much. I just eaten it up. So much information. How can I get this? Where do I need to go? What do I need to do? And they just started like putting me in the right way. And I won a light with Eagle. Shout out to fucking Talking with Eagle. And I won that light, and that was just a small little Burple light, but it was enough that it would get me going, to start me off. So I kind of dove in head first with these guys because I knew I wanted to be a part of the group. I knew I wanted to grow cannabis, and they were getting ready to do the grow off. And I figured, well, fuck it. I've never grown this before, but I've grown vegetables, so I certainly should be able to do this. I hope. I was a freaking mess doing it. I drove them absolutely crazy. Poor Dank Man Dan. Good Lord. My OG buddy. He has been pivotal with my success too. Him and I became fast friends in the chat. Him and I think, have been there since pretty much day one with that group. And we just absolutely love them, support them, believe in them, and still do. Immensely. There are guys, and we've got them no matter what. And Dankman Dan, I can't say enough good things about him and his wife, that 420 wife. Great people. I love them so much. So here comes the grow off, and I was like, what better time to see if I can do this? And so I did it. My ex was like, I don't know what you're doing. You're going to get us thrown in jail. I don't know why you're risking doing this to us. And every day, no joke, I fought for those 3 plants that I had. I fought every day for those, literally to the point where he was turning off my light, or he was turning off my fan, or sometimes he was threatening to come down and pee on him. So I was worrying he was doing that to him, but overall, I don't think he did, but I did. I went full force, and I didn't do bad. I definitely have learned so much because I was like talking last night with some friends from this time last year. It's right around the time when the grow off was ending up, and we were finishing things. And I've learned so much since then. And I never, ever, ever would have thought that I would be where I am right now a year ago to right now. So it's tremendous to know that I changed my life that much. And it was with the help of my group, but ultimately I was the one that had to jump off that cliff and do what I needed to do. And I knew coming to Michigan would help establish what I really needed to. So let's see, where am I? So the grow off finished up, and we kind of formed this family after the grow off. We all got very, very close. We've had some great trips. We've shared time. We've stayed all night with each other. You know, we've formed that little family, and boy, I don't know what I would do without these guys. They got me through my divorce. They get me through a lot of things. So I have a lot of thanks, and I love to give back to them. Because of Sequence, I was able to work in a greenhouse last summer. That was just pivotal in me being able to figure things out, because, you know, with getting ready for the grow off, you know, I didn't even know anything about trimming. I had never seen anybody trim weed. I mean, I looked on YouTube, and that you can watch videos all you want on trimming weed, but until you actually do it, you have no idea what you're doing, you know. And even me smoking for as long as I did, knowing what it's supposed to look like, I still didn't trim it right. And, you know, that was one of the things that I got dinged on, and my stuff was too moist. But I think it was because I had been traveling for the grow off, and I'd collected some moisture in my jars, I think. But who knows? You know, I'm open for criticism, and took all the criticisms, and they gave me so much hope to keep going too, and which I did. Full force, kept going, but unfortunately I lost all of that grow to PM. I fought that really, really hard for a good 6, almost 8 months, and finally had to just say I give and needed to do a complete reset. But my life was kind of crazy right then too. You know, I was divorcing, switched houses, so I was kind of all over the place. But I've been for a year now wanting to come to Michigan. I just did not know how I was going to do that. I fell in love with Michigan from the very first time I started coming up here, and I still am very much in love with this place. And I will continue to stay here and hopefully do well. But yeah, my divorce ended up, and I was like, fuck it. You know, there's just a bunch of memories in Ohio for me. I have great family, but I think it was time I needed to do something for myself, and took off to Michigan.
Word. Without knowing too much about your personal situation, it sounds to me like that's the ideal time to be making the jump over there. You know, just to the time of rebirth, personal rebirth and growth, so to speak.
It really has been. I definitely have been so peaceful being here. Yeah, if it wasn't for Dankman Dan hooking me up with the Freedom Green job, man, that's, I mean, who could ever think of working in a commercial grow like this? I certainly never did. My God, I never thought that I'd buy legal weed, or weed would be legal. I just, you know, who would have thought all these things years ago would have come to, you know, to be. And now look at it, I'm working and loving these plants so much. It is so great being around all of this. So great. Very rewarding. I'm very, very, very at ease.
You are blessed and highly favored for sure. Thank
you.
Out of talking, you know, because I have spoke to all the bros individually, right, and trying to get you on, because you were like the third person I wanted to get on, because everybody was like, oh, like, hey, Sequence, you want to come on the show? Like, yeah, sure, that's great, but you should really get Tara, right? That's literally, it was like, yeah, but you should really talk to Tara. And then I'm like, all right, I will. And then I talked to Skilbo. Hey, Skilbo, you want to come on the show? Yeah, sure, that's great, but you should really talk to Tara. Like, everybody, no joke.
Really?
So it's like, well, shoot, I better fucking get Tara on. And then of course she's like, nope.
Yeah, didn't we try to get you on for, I think it was the Mother's Day show that we had mom on, and we thought for sure that would have been like a hook, line, and sinker, because there was a bit of a draw for that one in advance, but no, it shot us down in flames.
And Payne jumped right on that.
The build-up is
this, so
Better.
I guess it's really hard for me to think that people like actually would want to hear something I have to say, because I mean, obviously I goof around with the guys and that, and they make fun of me and I make fun of them, and every now and again I might come up with something maybe a little knowledgeable, not too often, but if anything, I'm more of a brainstormer kind of thing. I will say, I like to brainstorm. I'll try to come up with things, like especially at work. I like to be efficient. I like to get things done. And do it right. I have a huge work ethic that is like strong. I mean, I like shit to be like down to a T, like good. So it was just more, I think it was hard for me to think that people actually really wanted to listen to me. And I don't know, I was very nervous. It's hard for me to do this. Like, I had to speak at my brother's wedding, and I like always been throwing up, crying, hysterical, not because he's getting married, but because I had to speak in front of all these people. So I don't know. You guys have definitely made me feel very easy and not nervous.
I think we all went through that too, but I mean, ironically, we're still here like 8 months later, and
I think
people
that's
still.
the idea is we want to put people at ease. I'm the same way. As I don't like being the center of attention. But it's okay if you got a team standing right behind you, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we're all friends, just looking to make friends and hang out with friends. So it's just like I think that's one of the reasons why we try not to go so hard on the Q&A a lot of the times, because then you have people sitting there like your girl, they're waiting for a question, and you're waiting and waiting. Okay, you answer that question, then you gear up and you're waiting for the next question, and you don't really get a chance to relax, right? You're like, let's just get fucking high. There'll be questions about this and that, but just chill out first, relax.
Yeah, it's
and
a
then
little
we'll bring you on
unorthodox.
for next round, and then that's when we'll really ask the hardball questions and really grill you.
Yeah.
I try to tell people it's basically like hopscotch with barbed wire with this show. It's like you got to know when to interrupt the individual. Just get your question, because you'll forget your question. Fucking after like 2 or 3 people go through, ask you questions, you'll be like, "Fuck, I had a question. What the hell was it?"
Some of the best questions come from chat.
Yes,
That's true.
it's because they're writing it down and I'm not. I'm just saying.
Cheers, chat.
Yes, chat.
Hey, Tara, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So I am a novice best, period. So I planted some peppers this year, and I brought them from Wisconsin because I'm not giving up on them. And they have bloomed 3 times in the last 4 months. What's up with that? What's up with that? Help me explain.
Really?
Help me understand. Yeah, but I have got no fruit, no peppers, but they keep spitting out blossoms.
I honestly, normally if it gives you a flower, you're going to get a fruit. What size pots do you have them in? Are they too small maybe? Are they root bound or?
Yeah, that's probably the case. It's in like a...
Pop them out of the pots and check their roots and see, and then you can always like maybe fluff it up and like pull it down a little bit, maybe give it some room and up pot it maybe.
It's in like a 4-gallon.
I've had that problem a bunch too. It's not a root bound thing, because even my outdoors done that before. You just got to kind of like hand pollinate your little flowers. They're not getting the fucking pollination that they need to turn back into the pepper. So
we'll see. Like the first time I was like, I'll just let nature bring me some peppers, and then nothing happened. So then the second time when the flowers came out again, I was like, hell yeah, like thank you, I'm getting a second chance, I'm going to pollinate every single one of these. And I did. Still nothing.
I honestly have never had that trouble before. Even growing outside, I've never had an issue with that. But I also was big on like bringing like bees to my yard. Like I planted certain flowers, because I know this is kind of goofy. But in our zoo in Cincinnati, they have a thing where you get part of this pollinator group, and they like track the houses to see where the bees are coming. And so my house was as a pollinator house. So I planted certain flowers to bring in certain birds, bees, butterflies, things like that. So maybe that's why I didn't have any issues, because I had plenty of things out there doing what I needed to do.
Yeah. I do live in the desert, so I mean, there's not a lot of pollinators.
Do you plant those stupid cabbage plants?
So were you advising him to fluff the plant prior?
Yeah, you got
as a fluffer.
Fluff it.
He has a fluffer that plant to get it to grow.
Sometimes it needs it.
Okay, guys.
Hey.
Speaking of Fluffer the plant, I got one that I gotta jump in and interrupt real quick because it's fucking hilarious to me. So, I got this real nice looking Jack the Ripper plant, right? And it's a big, nice bushy plant. And the girlfriend, she decides she's gonna call it Fluffy because it's a really good plant. And okay, you just named a plant after a good buddy from the show, and I just think that's funny as fuck. And you start cracking jokes about that. And then, as most you know, our tent is in the bedroom. And I walk into the bedroom last night, and she's sitting on the floor, petting the plant, saying, "You're going to be a boy. You're going to be a boy. You're going to be a boy." Because I told her I was hoping it would be a male, because it would be like, just from structure already, it's looking like it's potentially really good breeding stock. We'll develop it. To me, that's just funny as fuck.
That is fucking hilarious.
Well, then if I does end up becoming a keeper male, then I've got to keep the name and name it after you. Name it like Lord Fluffykins or something awesome like that.
Whoa. Go down with the Lord and think of something funnier.
Hey, Prophet, you just keep your fucking opinion to yourself, buddy.
Oh, you know I won't. I'm going to blast it all over everywhere.
Lord Fluffykin does have a nice ring to it. I could see him coming in with like a cloak, like a whole like.
No, because then he's jacking the weed wizard. He's gonna jack the weed wizard's look, so you might as well back off on that one.
More of a kimono kind of guy.
More of a Komodo kind of guy.
A silk sheer one.
How about, instead of Lord Fluff, it could be Sensei Fluff.
Shogun.
Oh, Shogun. Oh, Ronin Fluff.
There we go,
dude. That would be actually awesome.
Fucking hilarious. So anyway, Tara, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
So let's see. Oh, how are you enjoying your new career? How is the fucking life in greenhouse teaching treating you?
So huge life change. I'm going from people to plants, which is nice. There's no talking back. Nobody to call you a fucker, or unless it's your coworkers. No, they don't. Wow. So we did a tour of Freedom Green here when we did our Luzerne trip, and we should hopefully be airing this hopefully in the next couple weeks. We got a few little things to tweak on it and do some things. So you certainly will be getting to see a glimpse of where I get to work every day and what I get to do and touch and see. And the facility is amazing. I had never got to see a facility to this extent, if any. I'd only been in the greenhouse last summer, and we had roughly 60, 70-ish plants. Huge, that by far. I mean, that right there was just the donkey donk for me. And because I'd seen, everybody's, individual grows and what they did, but then to go to the greenhouse, that was like, wow, a whole nother level. But then coming to Freedom Green, my tour that I did, I was like, I had goosebumps the whole time. I am not going to lie. I mean, literal goosebumps the whole time. It was just overwhelming, amazing. Could not even believe that this was even going on. And just this little building that you could never tell what was going on. No anything saying that it's cannabis related. Obviously the smells, are great. Walk in and it's immediately just wonderful cannabis. So I have to say it was a bit overwhelming for the first few weeks. I really honestly, I'd been asking Spartan for a while, do you think I could do this? I'm 46, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'd worked in the ER, I'd wrestled drunks and drug addicts and crazy people and been slammed and all this, but I was still, not sure, can I actually do this work or not? And he's like, yeah, you can do it. No problem. You can do it. So I was like, all right, I can do this. Man, there was days that it took everything, like where we're staying, obviously we're staying in our camper because housing up here is a little iffy right now. So we're staying in our camper. And I'm like 6 minutes from the facility, and it would take all of them 6 minutes to get my ass back there, just barely to pull my ass into the camper to get to the bed, because I was just completely annihilated, just beat. So, I mean, it's such a switch. I mean, climbing scaffolding, climbing the pip racks. I mean, that's just some stuff I never, had ever done before. But took a few weeks, and now I'm all used to it. And Don't get me wrong, it's hard work every day. It kicks my butt, but it is so worth it. So freaking worth it to see those plants. And, sometimes we get them and, this big, and then they go to this big in less than 10 days. So we flip a lot of plants. We touch a lot of flower. I pick a lot of leaves. There's some days that, depending on where the room is and their cycle, there's 10 bags of leaves going out maybe that day. So it's really fucking cool though. It's so freaking cool. I tell Dan all the time, all these jobs that I had before, I always felt like, oh my God, I got to get to my break. I got to smoke. I got to hurry up and smoke. I got to smoke. I don't ever feel like that ever at work. I mean, we get our first break and I'm more worried about eating. That's all I do is practically eat because it's just going. But yeah, I don't ever have that overwhelming feeling like, oh my God, I got to smoke. It's a really nice feeling and I guess it's because maybe I'm touching the plants all day long, and it really is true therapy. I mean, it did so much good for me going through my divorce, just being able to tend to those plants and care for them and just be their caretaker and nothing else. That's all I had to focus on, was just that plant. And, there's days that I'll show up at work and, you know what? That's all I got to do is just focus on those few plants right in front of me that are my responsibility for that day. And I'm okay with that. And it's good because they need me.
Peace of mind.
So it is a lot of peace of mind.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
It's helpful that the people that I work with are such good team players, and everybody that's there is not just there to collect a paycheck. I've never worked with people where it's never been about a paycheck. It's honestly about what we're doing. They honestly believe in what we're doing. And that's really important to me. I mean, I've always worked in the medical field, and don't get me wrong, that's different. I've never been one to, no matter what I've done, just come to collect a paycheck. Everything I've ever done in my life is I've given everything I got. If it was my patients, then that's what I gave to them. If it's my plants, that's what I give. Everything I got, I give to them. So
awesome.
it's really
so you're a caregiver up there now also?
Not yet, but I hope to
Not
be.
yet.
Back in Ohio, medical caregiver. So that was honestly like where I was kind of, before the job with Freedom Green, I didn't know how I was going to get up here. And so I figured, well, maybe I'll just do some like odds and ends kind of jobs. Maybe I can find a job as a caregiver, and then maybe I can get my caregiver's license for cannabis and do that also, and then things worked out. I met Nut Tree, and, things took off with him. And then, he wanted to be in this, lifestyle too. So then we're trying to figure out, how do we get both of our asses up here? And the job came up at Freedom Green, and I kind of looked at Nut Tree and I said, I really love you, but, I've got to go do this for myself. So if you want to come with me, you can, but I'm going to go do this. You can come visit me if you want, because at that point I had been driving 3 hours to visit him in Northern Ohio. And when it came time for me to possibly move, I was like, you're either coming with me or you're visiting me. He hopped on. So he's come along for the ride, and it's been 100% great. I couldn't have done this without him. He's been my rock throughout this. I mean, I can't say enough good things about him. Everybody helps me so much. But I also think I help everybody too, it's karma, it comes full circle. You give back and you'll get it.
Right. And I think there's a lot of people who kind of realize that more in this industry than others,
I believe that.
I think maybe we see it a little more often.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But no, that's good.
Even giving without receiving in this community is it's fulfilling. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, what do you need? It's like, I don't need anything, but what do you need? I'm like, I'm all right at the moment, But like you said, it comes back around, like at any moment in time, I can be like, fuck, I'm screwed. I need some genetics, and these guys would probably help me out.
Oh, dude, you have genetics in droves.
I know.
That's the power of awesome right there.
Yeah. And it's like, shit, I'm a little low.
I've been saving all my Herm seeds and fucking waiting for when Prophet's ready for, he has that problem. And I'm going to be like, bro, I got you.
Go ahead, dude. I mean, I got a pile of herm seeds, and I just pull females out of them, motherfucker.
Yeah, I got the
Give me them all.
I got 2 5 ml vials full of super hermed up ghost train haze seeds. Yeah, I'll send them your way, buddy.
The fucking
It smells
regular
nice.
seeds and Hermes seeds, they don't fucking scare me, man. Like, a lot of my growth have been me just doing that to see, experimenting with it, just to see what was going on.
Grows have been grabbing that shit right out of the ditch on the way by. It's been great.
Yep. You're just jealous because my hatching cot looks beautiful compared to yours.
Oh yeah, dude, that fucking invisible pheno, man.
That shit's fucking killing it. I love how it blends with the blurple. It's like almost camouflage, like the fucking predator type shit.
Oh, exactly like the predator, man. Unless you're fucking looking just right, you can't see that.
Yeah. Like, unless I put my arms out like this, you can't really tell how big the plant is because, invisible pheno.
Oh, girls, you both look pretty. Don't worry, we love you both.
Nice.
You gotta throw the cow mag in the air. That's how you find it.
Yep. Oh, little cow mag here. Oh, there it is. Now I got a GPS tracker in the freaking cup. Nah, my other hatching cot's doing beautiful though, and I'm pretty excited about that.
I don't even know because mine got murdered, so I haven't even checked on the status of your guys' little grow off. How's that going?
I'm not gonna win, but I'm not gonna lose.
Decent.
So I got to keep
I
mine.
gotta ask, man, what happened to that plant you posted yesterday? Holy shit, on Discord. That thing looked like you ain't watered it in like 6 weeks.
Oh, it was overwatered. That was
Dude, I told you that's where the glory hole's hidden. There's a glory hole hidden behind that plant. He's been fucking that plant.
hot, and like every time I was just done watering all my other ones, I just throw the rest of it in there, not thinking much because it was fine throughout everything, and I guess it wasn't. And I learned the hard way, but at least that was a lot of real estate taken up that I got to fill up. But that was a pretty long veg. That was a pretty beast of a plant. I'm pretty upset about it, but whatever.
Sounds like that plant took it the hard way.
That's all right. He's slowly learning more and more every time he fucks up. So
Hey,
it's actually
man.
it's good for him.
Fluff
Yeah,
gets
it is.
It's a learning
Now that I get home
experience, man. I learn every single time.
Yep, I'm still learning. Even my fuck ups and even when I do better, But hey, DP, you've already pounded out some fire shit. So I mean, you're gonna fall every now and then with a plant. It's just gonna be like, what the fuck? Why are you mad? Like.
Still got a tent full of good shit, so we're good.
Yeah. So.
Still good. Still in the race. But shit happens, and I learned, and moving on.
That wedding cake I got outdoors is fucking blowing my mind, dude. Like, I got colas on it that are like fucking this big around and like this tall already. Like,
Makes you
I
realize
can go
how
outside
bad
and
you've been
show it to
fucking
you.
it up indoors, huh?
What's scaring me is the fact that I got to go out there now and start shaking the fucking plants off because of the damn mildew in the morning and shit. And I had a really.
He
It's
gets
such a rough
leaf
life.
blower in the morning, and he goes out there and blows them with his leaf blower. I saw G-Bay doing that.
I don't have a goddamn leaf blower.
Go to your fucking neighbor's house.
Hey, buddy, can I borrow this so I can blow my plants?
Right. Hey,
Well,
yeah.
tease your
and-
Actually, he might let me. Now that I think about it, good idea,
Prophet,
DP.
they're only like $39. So if you can't take some of that little money that you've been making on this new job and buy one, that's not too good, bro.
Yeah, buddy. Sorry, I have to pay off a whole entire household. So yeah, a fucking $40 leaf blower. Yeah,
He's gonna have to get another job for that.
bitch is gonna have to wait, or I gotta start a GoFundMe page, all right? Because right now I'm trying to keep this motherfucker afloat.
I know
have to do
someone.
a lot more caulking.
I'm fuck caulking. I told you my new boss. I said, you hand me a fucking thing of caulk, I'm gonna whack you with the motherfucker. And my boy JU, he was like, he fucked with me. He threw a thing of caulk and it hit me on the side, and I knew right what it was. And I fucking spun around. And I was like, what are you doing, motherfucker?
All I hear is Prophet saying whacking and cock. And
And he is a rather large black man, so his caulk was a little bigger than normal when he hit me with it.
was it in the
One of those
face?
big
Did you go,
construction
No, it was in the side. He was creeping his way back to where he used to hang out. We go way back, and we're tight and deep.
Profit's tight and deep.
There's nothing tight about Profit. I
Well,
don't
not
believe
anymore.
it.
So
Tara,
yeah, so Tara,
once you get fucking rocking and you get a growing again, how do you plan on running your grow, like your personal grow?
Oh,
Yeah, this is where Nut Tree 420 and I come a little apart. So I'm still consider myself a brand new grower. I am still wanting to experiment. I want to do things a certain way, try things out. I don't want to say is stuck in his ways, but he's got a little bit more formed of a plan that he likes. He's into cocoa and Jack's nutrients. So not that I'm opposed to cocoa or Jack's, enjoy both. But I'm still not totally like given up on soil yet. I don't know if it's because of growing in vegetables for as long as I did. I don't know. I'm still not ready to commit to cocoa all the time. I'm always been, even like before when I had my last grow, I had it split. I was doing a soil and I had cocoa, and I was running both strains in each one, just trying them out kind of thing. So I'm still wanting to experiment and stuff. So it's going to be pretty big because we've got all these tents we've been collecting along the way. If we can't find obviously a basement, or somewhere else that we can like do what we need to do, but I've got so many genetics that I want to pop. I can't even see straight. Oh my God. I mean, like, it's like I have to like stop myself from getting things. I mean, I literally have stopped buying. I'm trying. I say that, and then I just bought some not too long ago. So I am trying to stop buying seeds for a little bit. But I was just listening to a podcast the other day. It just popped on, and somebody was talking about something called Slimer OG, and now I'm obsessed with finding out about the Slimer OG. So I don't know, but I absolutely am really, I want to pop my Mantis genetics, the Altered Beast. That I think is probably my number one that is like sitting first and foremost right now for me to stick in something, because I just am so excited to see what that can give me. So but I'm definitely it'll be probably tents. We've got still all our lights, our HLGs. We've got some chilled lights. I think we're probably going to be sticking with maybe chilled for like a while. I like the bar style lights. I've come to really like the way that and here I go, I can't use the right technical words and all that kind of stuff, but it spreads a lot of light all around the coverage and stuff. So
Dispersion.
yeah, and I like that you're if you need, if they get a little tall on you and they climb too much, and they do too much stretching, you've got they're not coming down like this over your lights. They can go up, and then you can harangue them down and get them, back into shape. But yeah, I'm super duper excited to get growing again. It helps that I've got, I'm at work doing what I'm doing. Otherwise, I don't think I would be able to not be growing at all, because once it started, it's like a tattoo. You just need them and you got to have it. And it's like, it's a smell almost, you know what I mean? It's like tattoos, when DP did my tattoo, it was like, as soon as I smelled that, I was just like, oh my God.
Oh, you smelled the green soap.
Yeah.
That's the addictive part right there for everybody. They're like, oh, I love that smell. And I'm like,
it's the goddamn hum.
The hum puts people to sleep. Honestly, that's what I get a lot.
I just chased that fucking witch hazel at the end.
That's witch hazel at the end.
Yeah, dude. Like, put that fucking thing over your tattoo and squirt on it, and it's like, just cooled me off.
It is.
Dude, what I'm saying, and I actually put witch hazel in my fucking black to make my gray shade. So I'm hammering witch hazel into you the whole time. You're mad at me for it because it ain't that quick blast cool. It's fucking that burning sensation the whole time. But it's so worth it because it comes out so much more smoother with the blend than with water. And I enjoy the fact that I'm hurting you the whole fucking time.
There is something very odd about the smell of a fucking tattoo studio that is very intoxicating.
It is. 100% walk in, and it's real hard to walk right out without having something done. So when you got to walk in to do a drawing with somebody or talk about your ideas.
You ever get one? You ever get
Sure, I
one,
got
you
a
know, you go,
couple days.
you go in, you hand them, you know, the artwork, or you give them the idea, and then they're like, well, all right, give me a few hours and come back. You're like, oh, but I want to sit down now.
Yeah.
You get all excited, man. It's fucking hard.
Yeah.
Having
I'm like,
having a room full of people like that, man, waiting like you, and you got to take them in order. That's a circus of its own, man. And what's messed up is the person originally had the idea, and then after watching so many, like the people in front of them getting tattooed that they came with, they're like, oh, I got a different idea. And it's like, yo, man, so you're all getting the same tattoo. The fuck, you know, like.
Cheers to Tara and everybody out there. A few times I've been out there, always felt love from everybody. It was awesome being able to tattoo Tara. We were out in a little camper sitting on buckets and shit. It was a blast. And just, you know, and
That's awesome.
The love from everybody out there is just contagious. You know, anybody who goes out there, it's hard not to, you know, come back with that good vibes that they're throwing out there. And you see it with their rallies and stuff like that, you know, that they just had at the Capitol. Everybody came together and did a nice peaceful protest for their rights to live a good life. And it just seems the whole state's kind of like that. So, yeah, cheers. Thanks for coming on today.
Cheers, DP. Thank you so much. We really enjoy having you guys. We had a lot of fun with you, and I appreciate you doing the tattoo. And we've had a great summer. Been a good summer. You know, again, here we're going into our second summer of the COVID baloney, and that's what I call it. And I, once again, have had a great summer. I had a great summer last summer. I had a great summer this summer. Can't really complain. Even with all the bullshit in my life, I've still had so many great times here lately that it's overwhelming. Appreciate everybody so much.
You know what? I think that's another thing that I guess people don't realize a lot is, you know, you had a lot of bullshit, you know, you tell your story and everything, but I have never once not seen you without just a completely wonderful, positive attitude and a smile on your face. So, you know what? Like, the way to keep your head up through all that shit, you know?
Thank you. I do appreciate that. And that's like really big to me. Even when it's crappy, I mean, I can still always put a smile on my face because you know what? I have to remember somebody else's situation is 10 times worse than mine. I don't know. It's one of those things I really try to, it's hard sometimes, don't get me wrong. And I get shitty and have bad days. I'm not always roses and sunshine. And I bust nut trees ass all the time about things. But, you know, it's kind of been a little hard. You know, I was with somebody for a really long time and I'm getting used to another individual. And there's a learning curve with all this. So I'm just kind of winging it at this point. You know, that's kind of always how I've done my life is I've winged it. And people have always been put in my path. I don't know which higher being you want to praise or give thank you, but good people have always been put in my path when I need it the most. And Michigan Bros Grow Show has really been that for me. Sequence, Scobo, Spartan Red, all of them. Porch Farmer Baked. Gosh, I'm gonna forget somebody. Painted Lady. You know, and that's another thing. So I'm not real like girly girl at all. I don't know if you can't tell or not, but I'm not. I don't like to shop, and unless it's for weed stuff. So you'll never find me at like the mall shopping unless it's something I need. But it's been so nice to have these ladies in my life, Miss Cantaloupe and Lady and Everyday J. So thankful for, and that was another thing I wanted to, you know, do. I wanted to show women that it doesn't have to just be the guys that do all this, you know. I'm kind of like that at work too. I don't want the guys to just have to do all the work, and you know, there's certain things I can't do and I have to ask for help and it burns my ass. But you know, I also wanted to show women that, you know, you don't have to depend on, you know, your husband, your spouse, your girlfriend, whoever to get you what you need. You can, you know, take a little 1 gallon pot and one plant can get you medicine for a few months. You know, my first grow, I mean, I had 3 plants and I got 9 ounces off of those 3 plants. That was I mean, if I can do that, anybody can do that. So I just kind of wanted to, especially, to women, to show that, you can do this too. And I hope I'm doing that some way, some form. I hope I'm doing it. Granted, I'm not like growing right at this moment, but I will be soon.
Well, besides the cannabis, you said you were with your previous person for 27 years, correct?
Oh, 25.
25.
Yeah,
and you started over, right? With a
Mm-hmm.
new person. That alone is impressive. And
Mm-hmm.
for someone to be able to do that alone, besides the cannabis and what you're doing, as an individual, being able to move on from that alone shows a lot for your character. Because not a lot of people can do it, man. A lot of people fall apart.
It was hard. I
imagine.
I mean, that was the only person I'd been with since I was 15 years old. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was on my knees begging him. I mean, I knew our marriage was over. I knew it, but I didn't want to accept it because it was convenient. It was comfortable. We knew each other. My God, you know what? I could still go and take a shit with the door open and I didn't have to worry about it. You know what I mean? Just that kind of stuff.
Sounds like my wife.
It's just those things. I don't know. It's different. It is different. But I knew it was over, but it was comfortable. And it was just like, I beg you, I'd be like, why do you want to do this? I mean, that means we got to go learn other people. We got to go do this or do that. And, it was important to him. And I'm glad that he had enough strength to stand behind it, to push it, because I didn't. I knew it was the right thing. I'd known it for years, but I was not mentally, physically able to put my head where I needed to do what I needed to do. So, I don't hate him. I recently heard somebody say that they were talking about their former wife. And I leaned over and I was like, your former wife? I was like, why didn't you call her your ex? And he's like, because I don't hate her. He's like, we still get along. We don't fight. We don't do this. He's like, an ex to me sounds just like somebody I hate. He goes, and I just don't. He goes, so she's my former wife. And I kind of feel that way about him. I mean, we were assholes to each other for a long time, but we don't have to be now. So I don't know. Life is short.
Well, any true relationship is going to have it's a roller coaster ride. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So I don't know. I can pretty much get along with anybody. I'm pretty easygoing, and I don't know. It's definitely been an experience, but you know what? I look at it this way. I'm 46 years old. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. If I can change my motherfucking life, so can you.
Yeah.
I don't believe you're 46, but I mean, whatever. I'll let you believe that.
I can show you my driver's license.
Yeah.
It's cute.
30,
Sequences out there that still
38.
thinks women don't poop.
Yeah. They're lying to you, Sequence. Or should I say, someone's lying to you.
He needs to be quiet. I've pooped at his house, so he needs to stop.
Oh, shit. Blowing out the whole section of the house. Like, who was that? It was just Tara. Shit with the door open.
I know. I came out of work the other day, and one of the girls was behind me, and I was like, oh, shoot, it's just you. And she's like, why? And I was like, because I just farted. She's like, God, what is wrong with you? I was like, well, I don't know.
I did that to my boy before he had to go paint the bathroom the other day.
Fucked up, dude.
Yeah, just
I asked you all on Discord, was it messed up if I took a shit in the bathroom?
Yes.
And no, because Caribou said, fuck no, go do it. And that was the first thing I saw. So I said, I'm going in.
Well, just yesterday, when we went shopping and we had to get some Drano to clear out a hair clog in this tub. And before the girlfriend could go in there and apply the Drano, this daughter went in there and took a big fucking smelly shit. So Ashley goes in there to do that. She wasn't kidding. Like, it fucking stunk. So I had to go in there to do something, but I got the fuck out in a hurry. Like,
what are you eating? And whatever it is, it's rotting inside of your body.
Well, it's funny because like it was like as soon as we got back, it's an hour ride from Williams Lake to 100 Mile. And we get back, and as soon as I put the car in park, she's like, "I'll be right back. I got to go to the bathroom." Okay, and she disappeared. Like she might be right back. She was gonna come back and help bring groceries and shit in, right? She didn't. She was busy in the whole. No wonder it was like hell hath no fury, like whatever the hell that kid fucking ate.
Tell us about this kayaking trip. Sounds
Ooh,
it sounded pretty gnarly.
Yep.
God,
And
it was so fun.
What? That sounds gnarly.
So, one of the ladies at work, she is like on it. I mean, she's got 4 to 5 kayaks in her truck at all times. So I've been asked a couple times, but on Friday they were like, "We're going late night kayaking. It's going to be a full moon. Do you want to go?" At first I heard it was at 7:30 at night. I was like, "Well, sure, I can do that." I was like, "No problems," because I knew I had the show in the morning. So I was like, "Okay, that's fine. I'll get plenty of sleep." Well, then, like, as the day went on, I heard 10:30 we're meeting, and I was like, "Ah, fuck." I was like, "This bitch goes to sleep early." So I'm so glad we did it. Oh my goodness sakes. I mean, and I couldn't take pictures to even show what we were seeing. And oh my goodness, the fog sitting on top of the river and unreal. Didn't see any critters or anything like that. So that was nice. We didn't have to worry about anything like that. But sometimes, I mean, it was a little challenging because if you turn a corner and there was no moonlight, you were fucked. You're SOL. There was nothing. I mean, we had some glow sticks on our kayaks, but that was it. No flashlights, no lights up.
No flashlight. Oh,
Nope.
that's so gnarly.
Nope. It was just just by the moonlight. Oh my goodness. Amazing. I mean, like I told Karen, I was like, I've done some really, really cool stuff. I was like, but this freaking took the cake.
Really tight and you really got to get your senses on in there and just kind of
I mean, severely. I mean, and we like didn't like put in like I just kind of thought we were gonna walk down like a little dock or something and put in. No, we were like walking down the side with some man-made steps and plopping right into the river, and I was just like, holy fuck, what am I getting my ass into? But so glad I did. I mean, I ended up in the trees a few times just because I couldn't see, and then I got stuck once. But
do you do much kayaking, or is this the first time?
This summer is the first time I've done it a few times in the past, but maybe 3 times my whole life, if even that. So the most I've done is over the summer. So it's been it was really super cool.
See, I just got kind of doing the divorce thing myself right now, and one of the things I no longer have access to is my kayak, and it sucks, and it's funny because we got them about 3-4 years ago, and it's one of those things I had never really considered getting one for whatever reason, never crossed my mind. And then when the ex-wife there, she mentioned it, like as soon as she mentioned it, it was like, that sounds like a great idea, and just absolutely fell in love with it. And like, you know, my daughter's still small enough you can bring her with you. And just do it. She likes doing simple stuff like paddling through kind of the weedy areas where you get the snail shells that'll float to the surface once the snails. Yeah. She likes going picking that stuff up. But it's like it's a great pot smoking sport. You know, and you go out there, just kind of float around and, you know, do your thing. You don't have to do nothing crazy, but I love it.
It's a little challenging at night to be firing up doobies and dodging trees and stuff. So that's where I got myself in trouble, as I was trying to fire doobies up, and damn it, as soon as I take my eyes off of it, I was into a fucking tree or something. I literally went down that river sideways the whole time.
It was fun. You were like on the river rafting? Were you and Nutry like trying to pass the seahorse for dads in the middle of the river?
Yeah, it wasn't a passing of seahorse. I tried to pass the doobie a couple times, but I just was like, keep it.
Yeah, right.
Just keep it. Because then I'd be wobbling back and forth. I was like, fuck this shit. I'm gonna end up in the water. It was like 52.
I was trying to picture that.
Chilly.
That's funny you mentioned that, DP, because I was curious about, like, would I bring one of those with me on a kayak?
Well, she did it on the rafting trip earlier in the year, and it's funny as hell. We're trying to do like the human chain of don't drop the seahorse in the water, you know?
Right.
Awesome.
You lean the wrong way in a kayak, you're going, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's a little different.
That's something I always want to do. I was looking into it up here in Chicago, but even a kayak you have to register, so that kind of threw me off a little bit. But
Is water safe enough to actually go kayaking in Chicago?
Hop on the train,
I want
bud.
to do like the kayak
Hop on
where
the
they
train. Come on down.
fish.
We'll do some
Man.
kayaking.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, go in any direction, DP. Holy
All I gotta
smokes.
do is go outside of the city limits, really.
Yeah. Dang.
But hell yeah, I just think it's so cool. Those people go out there on the little ass kayak in that big ass lake and catch those huge ass fish. Like that's got to be wild, hooking on to something and then that thing just dragging you all the way around the lake and shit. Like,
Oh, it's a good test
That'd
of
be
your
cool.
core muscles. That's for sure. Try and know how to stay upright and just like control.
That's
Because it's
most of them already had about a 6-pack out there on that thing. I can only imagine.
yeah.
I'd go out there some doobies and maybe a little mushies and have a blast.
Will be about the only time you'll go out on the lake with a 6-pack and come back with a 12-pack, eh?
DP would think he had a fish that whole time for hours. Come to find out, he just stuck on like a boot,
And it
fucking
had
trying to reel it in, fucking after eating the mushrooms and shit.
So I have a question for you, Tara.
Yeah.
Now that you're like working in a facility, what are things you have to do that you would have never ever thought about? Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. For one, I never ever thought that I would have to put up scaffolding or a pip rack. Oh, there goes my thingy. Sorry. Oh well. Thankful for my dingling dogs here. No, I never thought that I would ever be that like. I'm obviously not mechanically inclined or electrical or anything like that. But I've had to like adapt to some of those things, even with like my own grow and that, because like I really didn't have anybody that I could ask for help on like how, wattage and that kind of thing. So I've had to like adapt and do different things like that. And I'll tell you now that zip ties and duct tape are a girl's best friend. I always have a huge thing of zip ties, but other than that, there's nothing really outside at work that I'm doing that's that I would find unusual kind of thing. So, I mean, all the plant care and stuff like that I've done, I did, somewhat in a sense in the greenhouse. So that's really not too different. But I think one of the things that has been is when I've helped process the plants and trimming after we've harvested, when things go to fresh frozen, I had never, so I had just, taken, buds off, trimmed them up, that kind of thing. I've never actually had to buck plants off of stems before. And
It feels so weird, doesn't it?
Like, it really like hurt me. I was holding it like this going, and they're like, no, you just are going like that. And I was like, ooh, but now I really like it. Now that I got the hang of it, I really, really like it. But that was really unusual.
When you're comfortable with what it's actually with what you're doing, with what you're bucking off of that, because you're not at first you're like, no, that's not how you treat a bud at all. Don't do that.
No, you don't. But it's gotten easier knowing where it goes, what it goes to, and that kind of thing. So I'm a little better with it like that now. But it took a couple times for me to even say, okay, I'll help. And now I'm the first one that wants to hop in and help with that part of the process. So. But that's another thing. I really am. I really like knowing that I can at work go and help in trim or clean the floors or that kind of thing. We're pretty equal, I would say, all the way around. So I'll try to help out in every stage of work wherever I can if needed. That's like if they need me to clean, scrub floors, toilets. We all hop in and do all that kind of stuff. Especially if our maintenance guy isn't there. We all take up his chores and jobs for the day and get everything done. It's really important to us to keep a very clean, pristine facility. Everybody takes a lot of pride in that, and that was one of the things that I really super duper noticed is how clean everything is and how well everybody respects that to keep it clean.
Yeah, I've only been slightly fortunate enough to have a little bit of like tank man's like rosin, but almost stuff like that. Just it comes through in the product in the end, man. It's fantastic.
I wasn't sure if it had made its way to you yet or not, so I didn't.
It has, and DP actually laughs at me all the time because I am not a huge dabber, and when I have dabs, they last fucking forever. So I'll probably have the stuff that I got for quite a while, and yeah,
Until
so
and then they'll just be gone.
Yeah, I normally my son got me dabbing. So, you know, and I had like heard all this crazy stuff. Oh, you're gonna fry your brain if you're doing these damn dads as hot as you're doing it. Bullshit. You shouldn't be doing. I was less like, oh my God, you can't be doing this stuff. And he's like, shut up, mom. He's like, just try it. And I really wasn't on that bandwagon for a while. And then I don't know, it just like grew on me, and now I am all about the dabs. I love my rosin immensely, and I really like good BHO, like for rollies. This which one's this one? Double Punch, phenomenal job. But yeah, super Dan Dro, Yeti Stash, my goodness, Select, they do a phenomenal job with rosin. I just can't thank these guys enough for the pride that they take and the job that they do, because that's a job to get the product that they get out of it. Because Nut Tree and I have tried to make bubble hash before, and it never comes looking out like this stuff. I mean, this is beautiful. So yeah, that's such pride they take in, and they do such a wonderful job. And boy, tasty fire.
Yeah, as you said, Fagroli is one I've wanted to try his for so long, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm supposed to be up there for the Clio event, the next one. Yeah, so hopefully we get that. Hopefully it's exciting. I get to come meet a bunch of you guys. And also,
well, I'll make sure for some reason if I see him and you're not able to see him, I'll make sure I grab some for you. And I'll make sure
that'd be awesome. That would be amazing. Yeah, ever since he was on the Throw Tube Roundtable and talking with those guys way back when, man, I've just always been intrigued by his.
Such a cool guy, really personable. He's like not got a big head or anything on him. He's such a good guy. He's a really nice guy. Just likes to talk shit with you. I mean, at Clio with us, he sat down for a couple hours just shooting the shit. I mean, super great guy, really good guy.
Yeah, he's always seemed that way.
Mm-hmm. Really is. What you see is what you get with him. And see, I guess that's kind of, I don't know, I've kind of always liked that about my group, what you see is what you get, with me, what you see is what you get, I like that, I don't like people to, hide behind other things and be sneaky and all this kind of stuff. I like to see what you are and what kind of person you are.
So, Tara, what kind of animal would you be if you could be any animal?
Oh,
perfect segue. Thanks for leading me right into it.
I'd probably be a dolphin.
Now you need to elaborate. Come on.
I am a huge lover of water. I'd love to swim. So, and for years, grew up on the lake down in Kentucky and was in the water. So I would probably say I would like to be able to, have a fin and be able to swim like a fish. Almost, yeah. And I love to fish too. So, which I haven't got to do a lot of it this summer. So, and I need to. I've got a lake right out here.
Do you like mackerel?
I've never had it.
I had to ask.
Nope. And if there's a hidden joke behind it, I don't get it.
Well, dolphin eat mackerel.
Oh, okay.
It's just Prophet trying to throw out some random ass fucking knowledge that is just, he's like, man, I got this. I'm going to use it.
I'll tell you, I don't do sarcasm. So if you're sarcastic with me, I'm never going to get it. I'll just stare at you.
Just assume I'm sarcastic about everything.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, Tara, did you get to go to the rally out in front of the Capitol?
I did not. Dan and that 420 wife, they, since we all work together, obviously we can't all be taken off at the same time. So no, those two got to go, and I got to live through everybody. So, and plus the other thing is I really don't get me take this the wrong way, but I don't feel like I'm a true Michigan. I don't know. I just didn't feel like it was my place yet to be able to do that, because my license maybe isn't, say Michigan or something like that, and maybe that's not the right thing, but and I definitely will be there from now on. I hope to be able to share in that fight, and it's definitely something, especially with caregivers. Freedom Green's big about being, for caregivers. Classic Roots that Nutri 420 works for, very big about caregivers. So, it's sad that, they're being pushed out the way they are, and, because that was what fed the market for so long. And that's what's, I don't know, it's a disservice to them, I feel like, because they give back so much. So it'll be a shame that if this goes the wrong way. So hopefully they heard us, and things will get switched around. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I saw what Spartan was posting some of those posts of that new bill that came out. And I mean, that thing is just fucking tragic. Like, that needs to be changed. That is terrible.
Yeah, he did a lot of research, and but I wouldn't want to so much say research. It was basically just reading. I think so much, and myself included, don't take the time to read the small print.
Yeah, and really, honestly, up until a couple years ago, I didn't realize how much shit they hide in the back of those bills and in the middle of them. So, yeah, if you don't take the time to actually just scan and read those things, you miss so much. And I mean, and you have to read those damn things line for line. Otherwise, you don't catch what they're trying to screw you with.
Right. Oh, and they're definitely trying to do that. That's for sure, because, money talks, and that's what pretty much fuels all this bullshit.
Hey, I'm in Illinois. I know all about money talks. Our cannabis, the whole industry is just nothing but the highest bidder, and it's fucking pathetic. But
yeah, Ohio's the same way. There's not, the medical caregiver system that they have is kind of a joke. I mean, you can have your medical card. There is a caregiver, but that caregiver is only able to go to a dispo and purchase for you and bring it to you. What the fuck, What the fuck, In Michigan, that the way they have the caregiver situation set up is that's perfect. I mean, they grow your meds, you get from your caregiver. I mean, that's perfect. This, go to a dispo and buy for me shit just is ridiculous. No. How do you know what I'm gonna need? I can't just tell you. So, I don't understand that. Why even have that? It's such a stupid option. But exactly like you said, I mean, why can't you just trust, somebody to grow your stuff for you? Like, if it's an adult decision, and we should be able to make that for our damn selves.
Because they word it to where that's not the case. You know what I mean? They word it to where it's a lie of what you just said. You know what I mean? You just basically, in the pure essence of it, said, what it should be, and they just word it.
They basically forced the caretaker to choose one person lives that they could possibly save, which is fucked up, man. Like, how do you pick through that?
I don't know. I don't really know. It's kind of hard to even put your mind on that you would have to pick. I don't know. There's so many people out there that, so here's one of the experience that Green Farm down in Detroit, that was one of the main dispos that I went to when I first came here. And I met some wonderful people there that truly believed in helping patients, and wanted to help me find what I would need, and take the time to talk to me. I mean, there's sometimes I spent 45 minutes in there talking to them, and they never ever made me feel like I was a bother. And there needs to be more people out there, and I feel like the caregiver system is able to do that. There's a few dispos that do that too, and I'm thankful for them. Green Farm down in Detroit, that's number one place right there that I can get that kind of care from, and compassion too. I definitely always felt it there. Another thing I would do when I'd stop in there is, when I was first coming up here, I didn't know what really I needed. I always go by my nose, and I still do go by my nose. I don't care what the percentage is of THC. I don't care what the name is. Just let me smell it. But I'll go, not so much anymore. When I was first starting, I'd go and spend $5-10 on, up to $100 of, like 10 different grams. And then I would make a list of each one of those, and I would like honestly like smoke it in the morning, so I would get a really good idea, and I would smoke it only that day, so I would be able to know if that was like my medicine. Boy, was I able to trickle through stuff real quick to know like no. But once I started doing that, I looked back on my notes and really started seeing a decisive way and path and of where I was going with what I needed medicine wise, because I didn't have that caregiver system to help me with that. I feel like my group of people, most of them are caregivers, and I can talk to them and tell them like my symptoms, and they really know that I should go. They know which way I should have started, which strains this way and this way and this way. I mean, GMO for me, for one, fixes my stomach up, no problem. I have a horrible stomach problems, and GMO immediately is like key. Half a joint, and I'm like already thinking everything about that cannabis right there at that point. So I just, and I took the time to do, different comparisons between what I needed, because you can read about the different smells and tastes and this and that, but until you like smell it, taste it yourself, feel it, you're not going to know. So, and I like to keep track of it because, I'm a stoner, so I forget things. Plus, I'm old. So, you got to write stuff down nowadays. But
I think that's a big
thing I used to do.
I think that's a big part about like the caregiver system now, that the dispensaries completely can't or have dropped the ball on, is there is something to that sensory, the smell of it, obviously, and everything. And, when you walk into a dispensary now, I mean, you can't even smell weed at a fucking dispensary. Like, yeah. I walk in the door at a dispensary and it doesn't even smell like weed. Like, what the fuck?
Right.
Like, there's something wrong with that in the first place. But, that's good, with the caregivers, right? They can, because of, the whole system, right? They can let you smell it to see if that thing really triggers a response in you, to see if it's going to help you out. Mm-hmm. So.
Funny thing about that is you walk into a dispensary and you can't smell weed, but you walk into any head shop where they're not allowed to sell weed, and it fucking reeks in the place.
Dude, the one I went into over here, I am wondering if they even grow cannabis on location. Like, because of that simple fact, it's like, okay, I should smell something in this parking lot. Something. And, it's just like, do you even grow here, or is it grown somewhere else and then, trucked over here? Probably still in my state, obviously, but, it's made me wonder, because you can walk into a dispensary and not smell a fucking thing. Sometimes, they have that jar that you can open and you can see shit, but the rooms still don't fucking smell, and you're like, my house smells way, way better than this place.
The dispensary here at least has a general weed smell when you walk in, but you can't smell anything individual. Even the strains are like under 2 layers of glass. King, like you'd think they were like crown jewels or something.
Yeah,
well, at the price they're selling them, they are.
Yeah, no,
I honestly can't say any of the Illinois dispensaries that I have gone to yet has even the slightest fucking stench of cannabis in it at all. Can't even smell a little bit of it.
Ohio too. It's you don't get to smell anything, and that's another reason I don't want to buy something that I can't, like. I mean, obviously I know I can't touch it, but I want to smell it at least. I mean, damn. I mean, there was years and years that you couldn't get good weed or anything like that, and so now to be able to have it at your fingertips, fuck, I want to smell that shit.
Hell yeah.
Amen.
Yeah, I hadn't smoked for like 4 years, being in prison. Then I get out, I'm so excited to go to the dispensary. I've never been before. It's finally legal. Like, can't get in trouble for it. And then I walked in, and it was just like, from the moment you walk in, it's just like, oh my God, they did all that for this, like, it was a terrible experience, my very first visit, and rarely a nice visit now, but yeah, you just not being able to see the product beforehand, and then when you do get it, you're like, holy shit, they just played me. Like, I just paid $60-$70 for this. Like, I can go around the corner, so
I was just explaining that to, like a neighbor of mine. They were discussing about it, and I was kind of telling them how the whole system works. And I took her to, her first dispensary experience. She's a 70-year-old lady, and she was all excited about it, and she wants to, see what this thing's all about. And then we get in there, and there's literally there's not a nug anywhere. There's not a plant anywhere. There's no smell. You can't see a fucking thing. And I'm just like, well, there's your fucking experience in Illinois. It's fucking garbage. Like, there is no fucking experience. You know what I mean?
And the thing with a dispensary, can I go and be like, hey, can I have a list of the type, like what nutrients you use, how well you flush everything? Like, can I have a list of what you do and how you grow it, so that I know what's in this plant, as opposed to like your own grow, what you put into it, or your close friends?
Almost any medical state, and they do that. They make you have to do that.
They'll actually give it to you?
Yeah, you go online.
I've only gone to a dispensary once.
Themselves on those, they'll probably just be like, hey, go here.
I thought that was a secret formula situation.
No, basically with everything, you should be able to find your testing, right? So when you get it, you see what company grew it through their testing, and then you can check out their testing. It's all out there to where you can see it. But
I did show you. You saw that picture I posted in Discord, did you not, Prophet, of that fucking?
Yes.
Friend? So
yes.
Like, my friend sent me a picture from this what you guys are talking about, from his girlfriend's medical dispensary menu, right, for her. And, let's see, I forgot what the strain was, but the fucking advertised numbers was, so let's see, what was it? Ice cream cake.
Oh, the 45%. Yeah.
45.1% THC. Like, fuck off and die. What are you saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's the stupidest shit I've ever.
Yeah, like they're not fudging numbers. Not at all.
Really?
Somebody needed to fucking wipe that lens off or whatever before they fucking figured that one out. Something did not come out right in that fucking test.
Somebody needs to burn.
But how many tests have come out not right is the question.
More than that probably came out right.
Within, like, people who are within the scene or whatever kind of know that. But I mean, those are all just for people walking in that don't.
Exactly.
Like I said, I went to a dispensary just like you did, DP, because holy fuck, it was legal. I got a card. I could walk in and I could buy weed and I could walk out like from a store. I had to do it. I had to try it. I had to see what it was all about. But nothing. It doesn't have that, like, you're not surrounded by a bunch of growers feeling when you're talking to the staff in the front of, like, that's selling to you and shit. Like you said, you ask them questions, they look at you like you got 20 heads, or even that, or it's like.
Well, they took away the reason of wanting to grow. Like, I wanted to start growing because I was tired of getting subpar stuff. You don't get it, it's not like you get to sit there and haggle with the corner man or anything like that, So it's just every reason that I wanted to grow the dispensary. I mean, they just still there. You don't get to look at the product beforehand. If you get it, you can't go back and be like, nah, you know what I mean? This ain't really it, So
yeah,
like, all right, well, now, hell yeah, now I know exactly why I'm growing. I'm doing it for myself, and I'm doing it for those around me that need it. You know what I mean? There's so many people that need this product that can't afford that shit. You know what I mean?
Right?
That's totally true.
It just made me think about it, man. Even that sketch dude who's giving you that dime bag on the corner, who only like cracks the door, even that motherfucker will let you see the bag before you fucking take off,
He might tell you, oh man, that shit been up there, and he still let you smell it, you know what I mean? You don't know what the fuck it is.
Still let you fucking peek it, yeah.
I started growing up for therapeutic reasons, and it's a therapeutic thing with a payoff. Well, besides the cancer, but I mean, realistically, as I started growing, it just became so therapeutic. Like, moments in, like, a couple hours in my life where I officially am not being bothered because I don't want to be bothered by it. Like, no static comes into my plant rooms. No, I don't want the women coming in and asking me questions about issues. I don't want fucking people arguing and talking about fucking anything that's got to stir up shit. It's just usually me and my plants, and I'm talking to my plants, and we'll listen to music, just so I'm not trying to bring that in to the environment, They pick up on that shit. So, it became real therapeutic for me. And then, of course, there's a payoff. But then I started growing other plants that didn't give me a payoff, and they were also therapeutic. Some, like succulents, I want to strangle to death because no matter what I do, I can't keep them the fuck alive.
I don't know how you fucking struggle with a goddamn succulent, dude.
Fuck you, I killed a cactus. I killed 3
cactus.
cactuses, all right?
Yeah,
I can't keep a cactus alive. I'll leave it alone, it dies. I water the thing, it dies. No matter what, no.
Right now, I'm in the process of just finishing off a cactus, but I've got this real nice pickle plant that's just kicking ass right now, and an aloe that we put in a tent, and then it started to turn on us, so we got scared, took it out. Fluff said, "No, throw that back in," and that thing's been kicking ass ever since. We're about to uppot that into something a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
So any other plants, Tara?
How to keep one of them fuckers alive.
I don't have much luck with plants right now just because of my living situation. Before I couldn't have plants because I've always had cats and they always eat every plant that I bring in, every flower. So I've honestly never grown anything in the house, but being out of the house now and away from my cats, I've been trying to, and I'm on my 3rd aloe plant. I've got them. They're just they hate me.
Yeah, they hate me too.
I've got a cactus, an aloe, and then a succulent. And the cactus is probably doing the best out of them. The succulent comes in next, and then that aloe is just oh, I hate you.
Get a spider plant. I have not been able to kill that bitch yet.
Oh man, my fucking aloe.
He's doing well.
Aloe, Fluff, your aloe looks like a tree. Okay, that's why I'm you know what? Fuck this dude. All right.
My aloe is so gorgeous. I ain't even kidding. I love that thing. I take pride in that damn aloe. All right, it's been around.
I've never seen an aloe plant that nice before.
That's awesome. I think maybe once I get a house, it'll be okay. That's what I'm hoping. Once we've got a stable environment, because right now I take it from inside to outside, and the weather up here is cool. So I don't want to. I haven't been hot too often outside up here in Michigan this summer, so that's been a little bit of a change because I'm used to Cincinnati weather being hot and humid, and definitely not hot and humid here, or at least up north as far because I'm pretty north. I'm above the wall, as everybody says.
In the good part where the trees are.
Oh, it's beautiful. There's Michigan is just gorgeous all over. I even in Detroit, it's gorgeous because then you've got graffiti and paintings on old buildings, and then you've got the old architecture. I kind of find beauty everywhere, even in the city. I was really surprised when we went to Chicago. I didn't expect all of that we were in the Ukrainian village, and that was gorgeous. The paintings on the wall and the structures. Oh, super cool. I took some really cool pictures of stuff. Yeah, super cool.
That's a beautiful area of the city. Yeah,
It was really,
stuff and it's beautiful.
yeah, I'm glad we were able to find that Airbnb.
It's a good community
nice.
too. You find those good communities throughout the city where it's just they have strong community ties. They take care of their community. You know what I mean? They don't let people come in there and kind of just ruin things. So.
Oh, it was nice. I didn't get any bad vibes or anything around there at all. It was really nice. It was a
I've
good
never
time.
been there. I've never been to the Mitten. I've only been to the UP.
Okay. Well, I've kind of been all over Michigan at this point. So that's one place that I really haven't been, is really much further than where I am right now. At one point where Dan lives in Grayling, that's as far as I had been. So I don't think I'm up. I mean, I might be a little bit above Dan, but not by much, because we're only 30 minutes away from each other. So maybe even 20. But yeah, I'd like to definitely get more up north and see. I want to go to Petoskey. I really want to go to Petoskey. So hoping to get that done before winter gets here too.
There's still time.
Yes, there's still plenty of time. And well, I run all the time. Honestly, this is the first weekend that I have stayed put right here in weeks and weeks and weeks. I mean, I literally run somewhere all over Michigan, hanging out with somebody, going home to Cincinnati, because I still take care of a lady back in Cincinnati, and I'm kind of taking care of her by phone most of the time, but I do still go home once a month to take care of her and see my kid and see my mom. But other than that, I usually make a quick trip to Cincinnati and then I zip right back up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, actually, so this, I'm bringing my wife up there with me, and this is going to be her first time ever going up to Michigan. So, we're hoping to kind of see some stuff. She's excited to just check it out and see everything. It's fun, just a road trip. So, we're going to have a little fun with that. But yeah, same, I've always thought it was nice up there. I've only visited like once or twice, and that was way back when. So I probably haven't been up there in over 20 years. So,
Okay.
It'll be exciting, to just get back up there a little bit, see everything that I haven't seen in a long time. And
Yeah, I had never been to Michigan, and even with as much, because we were avid boaters, my family, so we would go to different lakes. We never came to Michigan. Now my brothers come up here to fish, but my dad and mom never brought the boat up here with all these lakes and stuff. And my dad passed a little while ago, and I keep thinking, man, if he would have known about these fucking lakes up here, we'd have never gone to fucking Kentucky or anywhere ever again. We'd have been up here. He'd have been like, oh my God. So yeah, because it's just everywhere is just breathtaking. I mean, you look everywhere and it's just gorgeous. It's awesome.
yeah, I don't know what it was. We were always on the other side of the, lake, it was always like Wisconsin and everything, we were over on that side. We never went to the other side of the lake,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, crazy. I'm certainly glad I've been able to get here and experience it. It's a great place.
I love how everybody out there kind of respects their differences. You know what I mean? It seems a lot less contentious. I could just be an outsider looking in, but it just seems, like everybody will have opposing flags on their yard or whatever, but you see everybody having a good time. You know what I mean? Nobody's at each other's throats like some other places, So I love the fact that they're like, okay, yeah, we might not agree on it, but it doesn't mean you're wrong. You're still a human. I'm going to treat you as one. I really like that about that state as well. At least from what I've seen, yeah.
So what's your favorite part about Michigan? The Verner's ginger ale? That's my favorite part.
So Verner's ginger ale has always been, my mom always has given that to me, even as a kid, to fix my stomach. So that has always been a part of my life. So I'm not too hot on the chili dogs though. We've got chili dogs are like, I'm Greek, so it's like a part of my family is a part of this. It's called Skyline Chili in Cincinnati, and my family along the line is a part of that. And so I, got used to a certain kind of chili, and then to come up here and have, there's a couple different kinds of chili. So I don't know. I'm still kind of on the fence about the chili dogs, but I have so many favorite things. It's kind of hard, honestly, to put my finger on it. I can't even.
So you Greek?
They make
you Greek, huh?
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with gyros. I eat one probably a week.
I had one yesterday.
I had one yesterday too, and I think I ate one 3 days before that.
I have a couple of months at least. It's definitely a part of my diet. I love gyros, but I'm not real big on spinach and that, so I'll take that in like small doses.
Yeah, but see, I take the raw onions off. I can't do raw onions. You want the sauteed fuckers, I can do it, but I gotta take the raw onions. It can't go on there.
The tzatziki sauce, I love tzatziki.
Oh my God! Put it on extra on the side, so I can, when I get home, I can smear more on there. Yep. We have a Greek restaurant right down the road we go to all the time, so it's just family owned. So I mean, once I walk in there, they already know. Like, change my pork to friggin' lamb, and give my side of tahini sauce, and good to go.
There you go, up the door.
About the only Greek thing I know too is a gyro, whatever the fuck you call those things.
A gyro.
Delicious.
You probably know it
they
as a
eat a lot of
gyro.
olives, and olives are fucking disgusting. That's the only other thing I know about.
I don't
Greek.
like olives, so
yeah, they're fucking gross. That's why.
If you don't like olives, but I don't like olives.
I don't like olives either.
Olives, ugh. Too
Bro,
salty.
there's like a
I'm
whole
not big on-
chain of restaurants I can't eat at because I feel like everything that they have tastes like olive.
Olive Garden.
Ooh.
Is it like a garden of it?
No,
That fucking place.
no, it's fucking Potbellies. You ever eaten it like fucking Potbellies? I swear to God, everything
No.
there tastes like fucking has olives on it.
Hmm.
It's disgusting.
I feel that way about mushrooms.
Oh, that's blasphemous. Oh my God. Mushrooms are delicious.
Mushrooms are amazing.
And we're not even talking about magic ones. Like,
And so are
I'm not
olives.
talking about magic mushrooms. I'm talking about leave
no,
those things
mushrooms are
away.
great. You ever eat a raw mushroom just right out the package? Oh, or a portobello? It's
You know how
delicious.
bad it is? I would even get those like cans of like button mushrooms, right? Just the gross
Yeah.
ones that, you know, you get
Yeah.
the can, drain it, and just fucking just right out of there with a fork, man. Just eat those motherfuckers.
Oh, and you're picking on me
Good.
about me eating ravioli out the can. That's a little more extreme. Okay, buddy?
And then, I'm just eating a mushroom, bro. You don't know what's in that ravioli. That's fucking gross. You need to cook that shit.
You don't need to cook that shit.
I think there's a lot of mushrooms in ravioli.
There's a lot of stuff that'll keep you, you know, alive and healthy.
I've got a friend here.
mushroom.
We're staying, and he's a yoper, and he says if you have broccoli in your diet, you'll never have cancer. That's what he tells us all the time. Eat your broccoli.
Fucking love Youpers, man. They crack me up.
There's
He-
something else.
Area.
He's a fucking hoot. Yeah, he's pretty fucking funny.
We used to get the UP magazine, and it was just like, you could tell it was just run by a bunch of fucking hippies that were trying to still put out a magazine that was like newspaper, you know, like it wasn't even a real, it was like made out of newspaper, but it was color, but they were trying. It was fucking hilarious. They had great recipes. If you could find it online, anybody, look it up. It's just you.
Bro, that kind of reminds me, like when me and the wife used to, or when we road trip back in the day, it used to be a thing. And I think maybe they still have them at some of the truck stops, right? You get like the trucker magazine and you would start reading like the personal ads and all that shit that are through some of them fucking, those trucker magazines. Dude, hours of fucking great fun on the road when there's nothing to do, then read those motherfuckers because they are hilarious. And there is some fucked up shit in those things.
Yep.
That's what that
Truckers.
reminds me of.
That's the quality of people that Fluffy associates with UP.
No, you fucker. That wasn't it.
Okay, I'm just trying to connect dots here, but I'm baked. So hey Tara, how's it going?
Good. How's it going with you?
It's so great. I noticed you had elephants behind you, and they are still, but I also have elephants
Oh,
behind
damn.
me. I just wanted to be just like you.
Yeah, I got that from Red. I was able to get that from him last year at South Haven, and that's one of my favorite backdrops. I love that tapestry. I got another one from him, but it's still all bundled up, and it's got a certain smell to it right now of incense and stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to like use it yet because it smells so good.
You gotta
So-
cherish it. Cherish it.
I
Awesome.
always cherish everything Red gives me. He's such a great guy.
So you have written all these notes down because you've tried all the strains. So you must be a connoisseur. So what is the medicine for Tara?
Ooh, so really what I'm finding, GMO is number one.
I was going to say, she told us earlier.
Yeah,
Always
I
out.
recall, but
Gelato. A gelato right now I'm finding is a lot leaner in runts, and runts I'm loving so much, not because of it being runts, but we have a gelato runts at work that is just breathtaking. It is so beautiful. She smells so good. I mean, it like takes everything I've got not to just like rub my body all over it. I mean, it's that much, that fragrant, that powerful to me, and smokes and tastes just exactly the way she looks. It's everything. She's wonderful. I love her. But let's see what else. I'm a purple. We grow a purple haze gelato, so it's a hazy kind of earthy kind of tone to it. I really like hazies strains. This one is great medicine. It's a great nighttime one. that we grow, and I love that. We've got another one, Cheesequake. That was really super medicinal for me.
That sounds nice.
What else do? It is so yummy.
What goes into that one? Can you?
Mac 1 is a very good medicine for me. I don't want to say it's not as powerful as like GMO is to me, but it's a nice all around great day smoker. Gets me nice and stony and keeps me nice and on my way and focused. I like that about Mac too. Mac keeps me focused. But let's see, what else do I really super duper like? Gosh, Divine Storm. Dan's got a Divine Storm that, and I'm gonna get some soon here. I keep looking at the calendar and I'm like, it's almost October. It's almost October. Divine Storm, phenomenal. I believe I want to say that might be an in-house genetics one, but I might be wrong. So don't hold me to that one. But Dan's got Primal Punch too. Phenomenal. Love that Primal Punch. But another all-time favorite of mine is Sequence's Citral Glue. I'm a glue freak. And his Citral Glue hits a lot of the things that I like. The citrusy kind of lemon limey kind of taste to it, to that nice glue sticky in your seat. So really super duper like that one. Stonies, really liking Stony Rockefeller's Tahoe. Is it Tahoe Runts? I think maybe DP. I think. Okay. And there's one that
Tahoe
you gave.
Runts. Had unique nose, amazing taste, and
The Slippery Susan too. I am really, really taken with Slippery Susan. And then where's the one that you gave me? The one that I can never remember the name of by your height. It's the last one you just gave me, and I can't remember.
The Camco.
Yeah, that. I really like that one.
Great strain.
Really like that. So I've got the pleasure of you. It's funny. You can ask Stony and DP. I carry this skunk bag around with me, and it's not a bag; it's a suitcase. Everywhere I go, I got my suitcase, and there's not just 3 or 4 strains in there. There's probably 15 different strains in there. I like variety. I like to be able to sit it all on the table and say, okay, I need a little bit of this today, a little bit of that today, and know that I have that. I love a smorgasbord. When I go,
that sounds like a medical bag to me more than anything else.
It kind of is, but again, I go on smell. I don't know if you see me through the thing. I'll crack something and smell it and just stick it down. I won't even look at the name of it. I'll just be like, oh, what's this? What is this for me? And it'll be like, okay, this is gonna do it. So
like your nose knows.
Your nose knows.
Like right now, I've got 3 different strains of GMO from the group Abolish Farms. I've got his phenomenal. I've got High and Tights GMO, and then I have Sequences GMO. All 3 are great smokes, and all 3 are different kinds of GMO, but all are great. And I love having that. And boy, you put all 3 of those together, and that's a Mac Daddy.
Sounds delicious.
I do. I like variety, and like even now looking at what I've got on the table, I've got Citral Glue, I've got my GMO, I've got, what else do I got? Here, I got to show you this one. This is Spartan's Bliss Bud. I have not touched this. He gave me this whenever Clio was, so what, maybe 3 weeks ago. I have not touched this at all. It's been in a jar, and I don't know if you can see it, but I mean, that's how big around. Yeah. See how big that is? He gave
That's
that
a big
bud. He was like, this has got your name written all over it. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to touch you. Oh, it's so good. So this is the Sour Diesel crossed with PTSSD, if I'm correct. I hope I didn't get that wrong, buddy. But boy, he can grow some cannabis. Love it. Love it. So I want to talk about GG4 though. So GG4 to me is a great all around no matter what, you can't go wrong with that one. We have a couple different versions, strains of it in our group, and Doc Dankenstein has a cut that hands down is the most phenomenal thing I've ever tasted. And it's unique. And so when they first told me it was GG4, I was like, well, this is not the GG4 I've ever had. So I don't know what cut he's got of G4, but it's the donkey donk. Dan's got it now, and he washed it and got some phenomenal rosin off of that. And October cannot come soon enough because there's more of that coming too. So yeah, super duper good strains. I don't know. Everybody in our group has such good stuff, and it's hard to, I get the fortune to go around and get a little bit of everybody's.
Yeah, when DV went up there, he blessed me with a bunch of good stuff from up there, and I believe it was the Abolished, I believe, is all the flour that I got to try. The GMO was fucking amazing. I mean,
very good.
It was just oniony and fucking body odor funk is what that was, and it was so good.
He didn't really care for that. He didn't care for that. That's not really his medicine. Now, if anybody can get hold of his sour melon, yeah.
He blessed me with one of his feminized seeds from that. And I'm really excited about that. I'm going to make sure everything's going nice and smooth before that one goes in. I want to be able to keep that one in tight rotation. That was some great, beautiful medicine. And that cut he has, or that clone he has, it's just phenomenal. Love that one.
Yeah, I forgot what all I had. Maybe like Pele? I think he had a Pele one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that was fantastic. There was one more. I can't remember. Man, everything.
I think he created that one, but I could be wrong. I'm not sure, but that's a super good one. That was really good. I think I remember that being kind of berry. I'm trying to pull on my.
Let's see. I'm trying to. I thought, if I remember, the Pele was very almost hazy, almost, if I recalled correctly. And I might be wrong on that.
But that's the other thing too. The longer, the cure is too, things kind of take on a different smell as time goes on too. Yeah, got some super duper great strains in the group. And, that's one. Nuttree asked me the other day, he's like, if you could pick what strain you would want from people in the group, what would you pick? And I was like, how can I pick? I mean, there's so many, everybody's got so many great things that I'd want a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this. So I don't know. I like to do a variety of the last grow that Nuttree and I did. We had 15 different plants, different strains. So, we like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And, also just trying to pinpoint what everybody needs and hopefully it works.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of variety in the garden. Just always so worried about getting a strain lock or whatever people call it, where you're smoking the same stuff over and over. And I find even having only like 2 or 3 strains in the rotation, you can still get that. So, but it's always the challenge. Like I was growing in a shed where I had all sorts of space for trying different strains out and whatnot. And we usually had it between around 20 to 25 strains on the go at any point in time. And you're trying to get it down to like 6 or 8, but it's like damn near impossible because it gets to the point where you get rid of all the ones that are just one and done. They just did do it for you at whatever point. And you get these other ones that you're starting to grow a few times and you're liking more and more, but it's like, it really does. It's like, oh, fuck, like, bye-bye. And actually how I mentioned, I think it was on our Friday show, that I can get like my Gorilla Skittles back. Now that one's a fluke. I didn't even remember giving that one out, but the other strains, the Super Silver Haze, the Wedding Cake, and whatever the other strain I'm forgetting is right now, it was kind of the same thing where it's just like, well, I'm done with this one. So, like, sad to see it go, but you're just giving it to another one, someone else, because they were interested to play with it. And that really worked out for my advantage, because that Gorilla Skittles it, at this point in time, is like a forever strain. Now I might get rid of it, say, a year down the road, just because I do find other stuff that'll overrule it. But to this point in my growing career, which is about 5 years, that's like in the top 2 strains, I would say, for overall like smell and like the high is there, just everything it does for me.
Super cool.
I'll tell you what, guys, I got to get going. I got to get the day started, get on over to the old workforce. I hope everybody has a great day. Tara's awesome seeing you here. Hope I'll be able to see you
Good
out
seeing
there
you
in
too.
October. Everybody have a blessed, lifted day.
Later, DP.
See you later, DP.
Now that he's gone.
You know, Tara, it was actually funny you were saying that. I cracked earlier, you were talking about, you know, just the smell of the jar and how things kind of like start getting a little bit different after they cure out a little bit. I have this headband Afghani, and it smelled just of rubber band and tennis ball and skunk ass, and it was wonderful. And it was great for like 3 or 4 weeks. And then the other day, every single jar now smells like mac and cheese. I'm not even kidding. Like, you open the son of a bitch up and you smell it, and it just smells like you just made mac and cheese. And I'm like, what in the actual fuck? And I really like the other smell, but the mac and cheese is like, all right, that's weird.
Yeah, that is. They after a while, I guess, just the curing is still just such a it is such a process. I mean, really, ultimately, I found, I mean, that's where it gets screwed up big time. You know, if you're going to have problems with your flower, it's going to come at the cure. When, you know, for your final, you know, outcome, I think, you know, if you don't do that right, it's not going to be right. I mean, because that you can ultimately just have, you know, hay smelling. So nobody wants hay smelling weed. So
yeah, nobody wants that. And
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
I'm sure we've all kind of got that one where it's like, I don't know, a week and a half in the drive where you start to smell that like grassy, like, and you're like, oh, you motherfucker, you better not.
You're like, oh fuck, no, you're not doing that.
Right.
That's right.
But you know, you let it go and you're like, all right, never mind. I jumped the gun on that one. All right, we're still good. You know, and I'm looking at my environment anyway. I'm like, well, you shouldn't be smelling funny. You're fine. You know, my environment's good. So
We tried a couple different things when we were curing a couple times before. We tried a few different like containers besides glass, a plastic container with a pretty good seal top, and that was not good. We did not care for the way that came out. The longer it sat in there, it took on the plastic of it. It's not good. So I highly recommend glass no matter what. Even like, I know at one point we tried one of those metal containers with the funny, I know it's got a certain name, and you put the like bova thing. What is it? Sea Vault. Tried one of those. I didn't care for that. I really feel like glass is like truly like it's the way to go. For, you know, obviously for your curing it out, but don't like the plastic containers, and I definitely did not like that metal Sea Vault thing at all myself. So just a couple little things,
you know,
that I like.
I even got to the point where like the Bovita packs, I keep and I store everything in a freezer that's not plugged in. All right. So, and I keep one big Boveda pack at the bottom, and I use the whole thing kind of like a big humidor, you know, for my cannabis. It made sense to me, you know, it's perfect. And some of you know, my personal stash that I would have up in my smoke area, you know, I kept a Boveda pack inside the jar. And I have since for sure gotten rid of that because I don't like, you know, when the Boveda is in there with the cannabis. I feel like it's either too wet or it
I think for like the
that,
first like few little bit of it, it's okay, but like long term, I don't know. I'm not feeling it myself. And like, cause okay, for instance, we've got a purple haze gelato. We've got 2 different jars of it. Both of it came off at the same time. Both were trimmed at the same time. One is wet and will not dry out no matter what. and then the other one is perfect. Well, there's a Boveda in one and one not in the other. So, you know, I do like it, you know, taking off initially some of that moisture and that kind of stuff, but I don't know if maybe it's something that you maybe need to switch out and put a new pack in, maybe at week 10 or 12 to kind of like fix that. I don't know, which I've never done, so that's just an idea. Here, there's my brainstorms. But I don't know. I don't know much about that kind of stuff either, so I don't know. That's just a feel.
Yeah, I think we're all kind of figuring that one out. Is, you know, the best way for that long term. You know, we for people who don't have like a room, you know, dedicated to, or like some super dedicated storage for it. You know, I like my freezer idea.
Old days we used to cut a piece of apple and throw it in there. So I mean, like us old timers, that's how we'd slice a piece of apple and throw it in with it. So
yeah, I used fan leaves. You know, if my shit got too dry, I'd pluck a fan leaf off the current grow and I'd throw it right in there and that moisten it right up. You know,
lettuce was one we'd use, or an orange peel if you wanted to kind of get away with having you. This is what I'm thinking back in the day before we were curing
orange
it.
peel lasted a little longer.
Gave it a little scent too. You can kind of trick your friends into this brick weed, be like, oh, it's got an orange scent to it, you know. But lettuce was.
You probably tumbled that shit too, didn't you? Before
oh,
you
dude, I
sold
fucking
it to your friends.
wheezing that shit on it, man. Shaking it around, let it re-dry out. Look how sticky that shit is, man. Come on. And you'll get your vitamin C.
Yeah, you were just like that dude. I sent that picture the other day. All the seeds in that little ass pile of weed. You said you was that guy.
Hey, man, you can't prove that.
You came back with ass sack being like, "Yo, bro, I got it. We good." You know, I was a little upset when I took that picture, and then I was like, "Fuck!" I just threw a shit ton of stems away too. Like normally, I add them to like my my Green Dragon containers. So I just, you know, continually add a little bit of my stems and stuff and whatever not. And I had just thrown them away before I took that picture because I don't have anywhere to put them. But it would have been the perfect fucking 90s bag picture.
So, hey, Tara, where can people, find you? Because you're so cool. And we all want to see what you do on a day-to-day basis.
Well, I am.
What are your coordinates? I'm just going to do a Rick. What are your coordinates?
Rick wants to see it somewhere.
Yeah, he's in chat. So if this was America, wait, hold on, I might have to go this way. Wait, fuck, it's backwards, right?
I'm trying to figure out which way my thumb is go here, but I'm kind of all the way like right up here.
Oh, there you go, right by the finger. All right.
I'm up in here. So I'm up in Kalkaska. It's a great small quaint little area. I love it. It's I think the population is like 2,200 here. It's awesome. So but yeah, you can find me at Freedom Green Farms in Kalkaska. I love it.
You have any social media people can find yet?
Yeah, Tara Wilson 1409 on Instagram. I think I do have Cannabuzz and it's under Tara Wilson 1409, but I don't get it. It's not as friendly underneath there, getting around and maneuvering and that. So I've got it. I'm just not under there too much. And you can find me on YouTube. I probably should start posting some more things to my site. I was lacking on that for a very long time. But mostly I'm hanging out with the Michigan Bros Grow Show. That's where you'll find me with those guys and gals.
And there happens to be a show tonight, right?
That's right. It is Sunday.
You may or may not be there, but it is tonight.
Yeah, I will. 9:00 tonight. And then hopefully now that summer's coming to an end, we'll all get back on the every other Wake and Bake weekend. We had one yesterday morning. But yeah, you can find me Sundays with the Michigan Bros Show. We have Skilbo and Red do the late session on Monday nights, and such a great group. And check out Polarity Science with Red. That's a very informative right there.
Yeah, for sure.
I thank you guys so much for having me. It's been fun.
Yeah, absolutely. You've been
glad
great.
You came to visit. It's been great having you. I wish we had refreshments for you, but somebody fucking messed.
Somebody told you there would be punch and pie, didn't they?
Oh,
I just again, I'm so glad I sent you the link last night because I literally woke up like 2 minutes before 7.
That's awesome. I'm glad you did. And I'm glad you were persistent and you kept on me. I really appreciated this. Was really nice to sit and assess with you guys and share my story and, get to know you guys. It was really good.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been wanting to learn more about you anyway. So,
well,
now I know.
There's a whole lot more, but that's just
That sounds stalkish.
Well, that just means you'll have to. Yeah, you'll just have to come and do a non-PG version.
I don't want to get you guys back, so we can't go to there.
Oh, believe me, you can't do any worse than we do on a normal basis.
Oh yeah. Have you seen Friday shows?
Yeah.
Come on.
No, but it really has been great. So.
Yeah.
Very much so. Really fun. Thank you guys, and thank you, chat, for keeping in there with me. I'm sorry I didn't keep up with chat as well as I was trying to talk, and I can't type and talk at the same time, and my brain gets all wrong.
That's right.
Hey, obviously you did a good job, because there's people who have started in chat tonight or this morning that are still in chat right now. So we all know how that goes.
Hey, that's where I started out, and that was my life. I would not miss one of those chats at all. So I totally know, and I get it, love it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I always wished I wasn't so awkward. I remember, back in the Michigan chat when you started popping up, and when, a lot of people did, I was always a weird silent stalker. I never really liked talking to people. And then somehow Caribou convinced me to come on this shit show. So.
Yeah, the guys kept on me for a really long time. Skillbo was the one. He was really, really persistent with me. And then, I started shooting the shit saying, how about we do donuts with Dan? And Dan's like, nah, we're not doing that. And then, because at that point I was still on night shift. So I was at night shift in the hospital still. So I was just like, well, what about us night shifters and everybody coming off in the morning and stuff? I was like, what if we do like a wake and bake? And man, we're almost coming up to a year of that kicking off. So yeah, it's hard to believe. So much has changed in a short amount of time for me. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's cool to see your journey and how far you're coming, to listen to your story. So
well, I want to show that, I was just some little nobody. I never wanted to be on YouTube. So my little nieces and nephews, I asked them, what do you want to be when you grow up? We want to be a YouTuber. And then the older brother's like, Gigi's got a YouTube, and they're like, no way. And they think I'm so fucking cool, and I'm like, okay, all right, this is cool. But I don't know. I went along with the flow with the group because I wanted to be with them, and I wanted that community. I wanted that friendship, and I got it all.
Yep. Now you're a somebody.
Right.
You were always a somebody, Tara.
Yeah. I'm just a little somebody. I like just being a little somebody. I don't want to be a big somebody, just a little somebody.
See, I was like you. I didn't want to be. I didn't want to be on camera or anything like that. And I got a 20-year-old and a 15-year-old. And they're like, everybody wants to be a YouTube star. And I used to be like, get a real life, do something with yourself. And then I started doing this, and now I'm like, I'm a hypocrite. If I say anything now, they basically got me by, they're like, oh, well, that's what you do. But then I hit them and I go, you got to be old enough. You got to live some life first, and then you can come be a YouTuber. Go get a real fucking job.
I don't never see either one of my kids doing anything like this. My son is, he's like, you're nuts for doing this, Mom.
My kid's a gamer. He's streaming and all that shit, YouTube fucking posting. So he was doing it well before me,
If anything, you can definitely tell you're well liked in the community, because when you lost your dog, boy, fucking all this shit blew up for people trying to help you and on the lookout.
That right there showed me so much about people. I was like, I felt like I lost my fucking kid. I've never lost anything in my life. I'm like, how can I lose my fucking dog? Are you kidding me? So when that happened, I was so down on myself that I couldn't even see straight. And then here's this community coming together to help me. I was just like, oh my goodness. So yeah, people were so good to me and are still good to me. Still, I can't go on and on about the people around me. Really, I really have such a great group of people with me right now. Definitely very thankful because I never had friends like this before in my life. So this is really, really nice. And I didn't even cry today.
Hey, congratulations. And it is. It's a
We're happy to hear that.
Cool people who are fucking real, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the cool part is meeting everybody, seeing them, and then realizing that they are as cool in person as, you know, they are when you see them, and they are as real as as you see them. So
Yeah. You know, it was really big when I first met everybody in the group. You know, I am so real. So it's like one of the first things I wanted to know is what everybody's fucking name was. I was like, I want to know everybody's fucking name. You better tell me now. So the big joke is Justin's like, oh, here I go. See, here I go, telling everybody's name. Sequence is like, you know, Tara's got to tell everybody's Catholic names. So like, we went on our rafting trip here, you know, a year later, we go on another rafting trip, and I'm like talking about somebody, their real name, and somebody high and tights look at me and they're like, who the fuck's that? And I'm like, oh shit, you know. So, you know, it is, you know, I am so tight with everybody that I do know everybody's, you know, first names and last names, and I'm fortunate enough I know where everybody lives too. So I get to go to everybody's house. Everybody's comfortable with me and trusts me, you know, that I can go do that. So, because, you know, just like last summer, we got ripped in the greenhouse that I worked at. So, I mean, that was like huge when that happened. I had never been around like people stealing stuff before, let alone doing something like that. So the trust is so huge in the community too. So I'm very fortunate that everybody trusts me.
That's the best part about this community, man. It even though you don't get to meet everybody sometimes, even through Zoom or face to face, even just in conversation, chats, live chat, Cannabuzz, you build up pretty good relationships. That's actually what brought to all of us together, you know, at Cannabuzz. And it's not like we were live streaming or, you know, seeing each other in real life. We were just talking.
Yeah, I mean, that's honestly how it started, was the chat. And then we did that trip after the grow off, and then we started a group chat with everybody that did that. And that's, I mean, there's probably 20, 25 of us in that chat every day, and it's going all day long. You know, it's all night. You know, if somebody needs something, or if somebody's in trouble, or, you know, I'm kind of the mom of the group. So if you didn't get home, you better fucking text me, or I'm going to be on your ass. And yeah, it's a really nice little community that we've got going on, and we'll see how it goes.
It's going pretty good. Fucking
yeah.
You're all going in the same. It's like there's all one direction, not to.
I think so. You know, I think
like
everybody's.
You're all looking in the same. I feel like everybody's goals approximately in the same.
I think so. We all talk about finding a piece of property and just going communal and stuff, and all living together. And fuck, you never know, it might happen. Who knows? Crazier things have happened. Who wants the Kool-Aid?
Right.
But thanks again. I really appreciate it. You guys made me feel so comfortable. I was so nervous in the beginning, but piece of cake. Thanks. I really do appreciate it. And it was so fun. And I hope I wasn't too boring for you all and corny.
No, you were great.
Not at all. You've been the best.
Yeah. Okay. We're glad we could make it easy for you. Easy win, gently.
You're my number one favorite Michigan Grow Show member.
Thank you.
See, I won't even say anything about which one's my favorite.
I'm not afraid to say it on air.
See, no, I'm not gonna say who's my favorite. I want them all to wonder.
I have my favorites too. So, or I shouldn't say favorites. Skilbo probably hands down is like Skilbo and Dan. They're my buds. No matter what, they're my buds.
Well, hey, when I started watching that show, man, it was easy to, especially for someone my age, to get along with Skilbo, because that motherfucker was talking my language. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He was always dropping that shit. And I'm like, yeah, I remember all of that.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, we're definitely all three of us kind of are along that same era, a time frame, so it's helpful. It's
All right,
really,
you know what? Screw it. I'm a Spartan fan. Aroo!
that's
Just
so cool. You know,
That's
Spartan has got so much. I love Spartan too, and he gives the best hugs. But he's
I want
got
a
a
hug
lot.
from Spartan.
You want to hug? It's a good hug. It's one of the best hugs ever.
I want to hug Fluffy too, but I mean, hell, I'll hug Spartan.
Yeah, I'm big on giving hugs. I gotta hug all my peeps and kiss them on the head and say goodbye. And you gotta make sure you tell me when you get home. And you know, I gotta keep track of everybody, make sure they're okay. And if somebody's sick, or you know, I try to remember everybody's birthdays and shout out birthdays, and you know, try to keep our little nook and cranny here together.
I hear you, man. Someone's got to be that person, right? Otherwise, you know, someone's got to be the glue that sticks all this fucktards together.
Yeah, I kind of think I've
Jesus.
kind of adapted that role with everybody. Once I started doing the trips with everybody, and I was the one that would cook for everybody, because like the first trip I did, you know, it was kind of like my give back to them. You know, I found the house, you know, I planned this fucking great trip, and you're not doing a thing. I'm cooking for you night and day. And I did that. And I just wanted to give back to them, you know, because they had given back so much to me, and I didn't have really anything to like give to them, you know, I felt, you know, and I mean, the things they've done for me is just so much. I mean, it really is. You know, I wouldn't be where I was right now if it wouldn't be for the group. Dan, I mean, I wouldn't have this job if it wasn't for Dan. And they always say, no, it's because you did this. But yeah, I took the step to do it, but it took them their help a little bit to get me there. So I would have never had the confidence in myself to fucking move. I never even had stayed away from my family before, let alone go move to Michigan. Are you kidding? 7 hours away? No, never, you know, so it's really, they're crucial behind what I'm doing.
Yep. Well, Tara, I am so grateful. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you guys.
I have to go start my day.
Yeah, I probably should do. I got to go to the laundromat and do some laundry. I need to go stink it up with my uniforms. Everybody knows when Tara's in there.
That's funny.
Nice.
All right. Thanks,
Thank you
everybody.
guys, and have a
Thanks.
great rest of your weekend. And see you tonight in the chat.
Thanks, chat. Bye, everybody.
Guys,
Later,
good night.
chat.
See you guys.
So wait, bye, Tara. So since Caribou's not here to close us off, we could just sit here and run our mouth the whole time.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
we're gonna have to. I mean, Tara is free to leave, but I mean,
Yeah, you're
somebody's
free to
gotta-
leave. You got stuff to do. My plan was to watch the last season of Lucifer once I got off of here and get baked out of my fucking mind. That was it. That was my whole plan.
I don't know if anybody's watched Clickbait on Netflix, but I had to like force myself to turn the TV off the other night.
Real wait, that's that horror movie, right? And friggin', or is that the one where they capture a friend or something? They try to give you. I know it has something to do with fucking like YouTube or some shit.
Yeah, I think you're going along that.
Yeah,
it's
I
on
saw it.
that.
I saw it on Netflix, and I kind of
Yeah,
gave it a
it's
brief
not-
look.
No, it's not scary, but it's super good.
Yeah, all right. I might have to check that out.
Definitely binge worthy.
Yeah. Oh, the show. All right, that one's gonna have to wait.
Series on Netflix.
Okay, that's gonna have to wait. I can't starting shows when I haven't finished shows.
Yeah, that's true. You really shouldn't do that. I'm still stuck on Mandalorian and haven't finished that. So
That's
I need
the
to get
worst.
that
Like,
finished.
I think we started, I don't know, 4 or 5 different shows, and then we'll get all into it for like a whole day, right? We'll watch like a season and a half of something, and then the next day we'll go on to something fucking different. You're like, and then you got to go back to the other. Man, it really is just better to fucking binge the one thing and get it over with.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
me and my
I
wife
do.
will get a show that we both end up liking, which is kind of rare. So, like Prodigal Son, okay? We were watching that, and then we had to wait for the next season. The next season's already out, done. And I'm like itching to watch this, but it's like one of the few things we could sit down and watch together where I'm not like watching her watching cooking food, and I'm like, bitch, cook that for me, god damn it, I'm starving watching this show. Like, or anything like that, or reality TV where you just, you want to choke the people that are actually on the show because they're fucking obnoxious.
I mean,
But
the fucking Real Housewives of fucking anything.
dude, anything, like below deck, fucking, you want to like throw somebody off a fucking yacht, and just be like,
Hey,
hope the
Below
sharks get
Deck
them.
is a wonderful, tragic train wreck of humanity. I do actually like that one.
As I was saying, so it's one of the few shows we get into, like this, like NCIS. We got huge into that. We went through all of that, and we're big into those kind of shows. But I've been impatiently waiting a year to finish The Last Prodigal Son, and it's driving me absolutely batshit crazy because that was an absolutely good show. I don't know if any of you heard of it.
No, I haven't.
And so there was a serial killer who he killed like 20 people, whatever, but he's known as like the surgeon, okay? And his 10-year-old son ended up ratting him out. Now he's got psychological problems, because the daddy's crazy, blah, blah, blah. Mom's fucking kind of nuts, but like rich nuts and like oblivious nuts, like that kind of nuts, not like she's gonna stab you, but just it's all about her type of shit. So, but he's a criminal profiler, and fucking he starts working with the police to catch killers and shit like that. So it's a pretty good show, but it shows you how much maybe like his father he is, or maybe not. Like that's the big battle between them. But it's a good show if you're into that. If you're into that, type of shit. Hey, Caribou, welcome back to your show.
What's up, everyone? How you doing? Good morning.
Holy
My name is
shit,
Brad.
a wild caribou appeared.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, sorry. Sometimes household duty kind of supersedes sitting and hanging out in front of the computer,
That's why we have a team, because sometimes it happens to all of us, and we have to bounce for a minute, and we got the rest of us here.
Well, that's actually was pretty much 100% the reason for wanting to get so many different people and personalities on, is just because everybody has life, right? And this is not a carved in stone commitment by any means. It's a hobby. And so it's like at any given moment, like, well, and look at what just happened with Indica B, right? Family shit emergencies happen. So you get, this way you've always got at least 2, 3, 4 people that can get together and put on a show. You get a kick-ass guest like Terror Nation hanging out with us. Like, you've been great. We definitely want to get you back on again.
See, you call it a hobby. I call it therapy. Like, this is my therapy for me.
But there is that very much aspect of it too. Just venting and just talking about the trials and tribulations of life. I enjoy it. All you guys are awesome. Everybody watching on live chat. You Prophet, you Fluff, Tara. I hope to get to know you a lot better, Tara. It seems to be like once you get your foot in the door, and then you kind of start, that's how once the conversations start, then they start flowing a little bit more. I'm one of those really shy types that's always afraid to reach out to people that I don't really know that well, right? So now that we've got Sam back in the saddle, because he just gives no fucks, he'll talk to anyone, right? So I imagine you'll see a whole bunch of interesting new people that coming on around as well.
Awesome. Yeah, one of the big things was I started networking when I first got on IG. Elevated Space. I don't know what it was. I saw one of her lives, and she looked like a super cool chick. And I thought, well, I'm going to reach out to her and see if maybe she can help me with some information. And her and I have developed a great friendship just from me reaching out, doing that. Sometimes, I had to reach out and just be like, you know what, I'm some crazy bitch reaching out to you. I need some help. I don't know where to go. I'm trying to get the right avenues. And I was able to find a few good people that set me in the right direction.
It's awesome when you do find a few people, because that you can that are like, hey, come hang with us, sort of thing, and give you feeling of support and belonging, I guess. I was on Instagram for a while, and only the few followers that were friends of friends kind of things. And it's like, how the hell do you meet people? I had no idea that this community that we all hang out in was here. although I knew there had to be something more than what I was seeing out there, right? And it was just like, the way you just see it like open up, and there's like, yeah, it's very, very cool. And it was for me, it was more cannabis is where I was able to make the connections there, because it was like, that's a cannabis based, everything is cannabis there, obviously. So there's like people, but it was like people like Fluffykins and Sticky Bob and Sweet Johnny that were guys kind of throwing you a line out there and saying, hey man, it's great. And now I saw, honestly, I couldn't be happier for what I think about the timeline of like everybody coming into my life kind of November, December-ish, I think it was, and then kind of meeting new people through there. And then how very abruptly in like towards the end of January, it was like, that was where it was all of a sudden brought to my attention that my marriage was about to end out of nowhere, right? You just kind of, everything's cruising along, and to like Prophet just was saying, therapy, like holy shit, just and you just taking the, just like going through all that, having these guys to vent and BS with, just it means the world.
That was kind of the thing. I mean, cannabis it was started by guys in the industry. They wanted it for people, they didn't want people getting banned by the fucking assholes who run the fucking Instagram and all that other shit. So, it was a great platform. I wish they had the budget that some of these other big people did so that they could fix their app, because it's just not as user friendly as it could be. They're working on it. They're making great strides, but like I've had the same problem for years on the app, years, literally. And it's just like, at some point you got to fucking fix it, man. Like you can't. So, while I will support that app a little bit, I will continue, it's just hard, they got to do something to fucking improve that app so that people can get on. And once they do, it's a great fucking community, like you said, we all met there. It's good people. It's stayed good people. A lot of the fucking trash that is in some of these other social medias, they're not as prevalent there. You don't see it as much. So, it's a good community, and I'd like to keep it around. So, to you guys at Cannabis, come on, please fucking fix your shit.
Yeah, it'd be nice if it was a little user friendly. It really, yeah.
Yeah, it's I go in to load a fucking picture, just load in to scroll through, my feed. Half the time I don't even see the people that are my friends. Like, so I don't even know what the point of friending motherfuckers on it is anymore.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, it takes 3 or 4 minutes just to load the damn thing so that I can scroll through it. By that time, I've already caught up on every other damn app. So, there's a thing, time is fucking money, and I don't have time to be fucking with their slow shit.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like the as soon as the alert went out that they had the pay tiers on the app, I immediately threw out a contribution, because I am all for that app. And I get it, you're small, and you kind of overloaded and shit like that. There's only so much you can do. But at the end of the day, when you think about it, it does take the users and donations and all this shit to help improve it. So it's like one of those things. It's like, yeah, just what do you like? Try and support it now that I think, because I kind of stepped away from it from when I stopped growing. Obviously, right? It doesn't seem like a lot of reason to be posting there, but now I'm gonna start spending more time over there, put more attention up there, because just like I was saying earlier in the show, I just flipped my first crop, and I haven't had anything growing or in bloom since February 12th would have been the last day that I cut everything. So that's really exciting. Got that lemon berry from Ethos, and then we got the Orange Gasm, the Lemon Jeffrey, and then a Spider Girl, which is mine. That's a Charlotte's Web by Violator cross with Chemdog Afghani, and then a Meathead by Chemdog Afghani, which is also one of my crosses. So I might go upstairs and look and see if I have a Violator cross that's big enough to kind of fit in there now, just thinking ahead, because in a few weeks when the mountain stretching's done, everything in my other tent should be ready about to flip, and then I'm just going to kind of throw everything together. And how the restarting with all your clones again is it's exciting times though, Fluff. It's very exciting times. And then hopefully
Awesome.
pretty soon I can stop paying for my medicine because it's an expensive habit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially
okay.
new bag day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, guys, I think I'm gonna get off here and go do my laundry at the laundromat.
All
I
right,
will
Tara.
say, guys, again, I appreciate you guys. This was super fun, and thanks for letting me tell my story. And I hope to sesh with you guys again.
Thank you
That
for
would be
joining us,
awesome.
and I hope we get to hang out with you again.
Awesome, and I hope to see you at Croptober coming up.
Me too. I hope everything stays. So far, I mean, we have a hotel room booked and everything, so we are
Awesome.
fucking golden. We should be there.
Perfect. All right, that sounds awesome. Then I will see you there. You guys have a great rest of your weekend. Take care. Thank you.
All right, Tara. Have a great night.
Later,
Great
Tara.
day, I guess it is.
Bye.
Morning.
Thank you.
I don't even know what time of day it is at this point.
Well, it ain't noon for me yet, so it's still morning for you.
Yeah, 8:30. Hey, it seems like could be nighttime. Get used to doing the show at night and forget. And I've already been up for about 5 hours since 3:30 my time-ish. So that's hey, it's almost nap time.
After this, I got to figure out my damn Zoom, figure out why all my shit's broken. We got on and we were doing like a list with like a financial advisor or something, right? We had to do like a Zoom meeting with him. So my wife's like, hey, we're going to use your computer for this Zoom meeting because you do a fucking Zoom 2 times a week, right? I'm like, yeah. She goes, let's just make sure there's no weed on it. You know, my background picture's a big giant fucking nug, you know.
Yeah.
So I go in there and I spent like the whole time trying to figure out how to change everything, right? So I got my name changed finally, you know, it said my real name on it. I figured out everything, right? Except I did not realize my background picture, you know, from like when I sign off or something was a giant nug. So when I was like, right, fuck, I just start the thing with no video, right? And it'll be a black square with just my name on it. Yeah, no. I signed in that motherfucker, just one big ass nug. Talking to my financial advisor, I'm like, this is awesome. My wife was never fucking prouder of me, I can tell you. And now I can't figure out, now all my shit's fucked up. And you can see my whole ass fucking basement down here. And now I'm going to spend half the day trying to refigure out how I fucked up again. So it's great.
I love those moments when you're in shit and you know it, but you're also so fucking damn proud and happy of this fact at the moment that you're like, this is well worth it.
I did everything, man. I was like, right, I'm gonna make my wife proud. I can show her I'm gonna be a fucking adult.
That was your downfall right there.
Yeah.
I said I want to make my wife proud.
I got fucking like 2/3 of the way there, man. Fucking typical life, almost there, but just can't cross that finish line.
Sounds like my sex life. Boom.
But hey, man, this shit was fun, man. Tara was a great fucking guest.
Yeah, she's got a great story to tell.
Yeah, and she's so positive about the whole thing. You know, that fucking positive attitude, it goes a long way. Just fucking help, like, bring positivity to everybody else, you know.
And if she was nervous, she hit it well. She did great.
Actually, speaking of like positivity and stuff, I'll shout a book out, The PMA Effect by John Joseph. He's the singer from the Cro-Mags, old hardcore punk rock band from the 80s. They're still kind of together in a few different formations, but this guy's like all about the power of PMA, which is positive mental attitude, right? And if you're looking for a good book that'll help maybe brighten your attitude or whatever, to help with your outlook on life, definitely give it a read. I've read 3 different books by the guy. He's awesome. Yeah. That's what I got on that one.
Well, there you go, man. Well, I think it's time for me to get my day started. So it's been great hanging out with you.
Do something. I got about an hour and a half before the Jays game starts. And to be honest, I've only got about an hour because I'm one of those guys that likes to watch the pre-show stuff. So run around like chicken with its head cut off and get everything done real quick so I can sit on the couch, do nothing, and maybe have a nap during the game. And then that way I can be awake to do the actual adulting later on in the day.
Are you in the Yankees tied?
Yeah, I think
my dad told me that, I think yesterday. He was like, oh, tell Caribou fucking Toronto and Yankees are tied. I forgot who else he said was tied with you guys, but
It's okay. We'll
he made sure to tell you that you
we'll
fuckers are
come
tied
out
right
ahead of
now.
them in the standings. Don't you worry.
Okay. And when it does, make sure you tell me to tell him because I'm not paying attention.
I will go tell you can go tell him that when we're done. But what I'm interested, because I said before the season even started that the Yankees aren't even going to make the playoffs, and they made a couple really good acquisitions at the deadline, and they're looking real good ever since then. But they're also on a little bit of a slide too. So, but they can heat up. There's still lots of baseball left to be played. So, but I fuck the Yankees, so I hope I'm right and they don't make the playoffs.
I like this intermediate trash talk that I'm doing between you and my dad. And then, like, when it actually happens, I'll put you face to face so you could either rag him because his team lost or he's going to rag you.
Hey,
It's just a reason for you to talk shit, Prophet. You just fucking love talking shit. That's all it is.
Pretty much.
I like this. I like to stir shit around, man.
Yeah, Prophet straight up shit disturber. But yeah, anyways, guys, I guess it's time to go. It's time to go.
All right.
Everyone in live chat, you guys are awesome. We love you. And
they were on fire today. Jesus,
yeah.
you got me saying.
I think Sam. I do believe Sam does have someone lined up for Tuesday, but I am not yet. He threw a bunch of guests that he either
I think
had
it's
lined up.
Paula, right? Or PJ?
Is that Tuesday? I wasn't sure if that was.
I believe. Or Sunday.
I was thinking so. Sunday. So.
I know we got that one coming up.
See, now she's probably watching because she's awesome and she rolls with us like that. And now we've got her all confused and not knowing what day she's going to be on the show. So she's all fucked up. So, hey, Paul, that was us.
Yeah, I'm going to have to check Discord and read back like yesterday or whatever and be like, the fuck did B say? What day is it?
Bro, did you see that shit? She was making like medicated fucking Kit Kats. Like, I want to find out all about this.
Yeah, I want to learn if she. I want to see how she infuses her chocolate because I've done it a few times, but it's from scratch and shit. And like, I want to see if she does it from scratch or if she does it like it's a bit of a process infusing chocolate to begin with. So I mean, just learning about that more from someone who's more experienced at it.
Yeah. I mean, right. She had like the infused chocolate with the infused like maple syrup, like going into shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know all about that. Then and on top of that, I just want to know, how she's doing her infusions, her decarbs, all that shit. Like I want to know about all of it. So I'm excited for her as a guest though, she looks like she makes fucking bomb ass shit. So yeah.
All right, Caribou, you cut us off.
That's all good.
Yes, do it, or we never leave.
Do it. We're not just gonna shut. We're not gonna shut up.
Yeah. Okay. Shut up. We're out of here.